So, let's get started. We're on chapter 3. Somehow, the main character, Teru, has accidentally been dating Subaru for a month. Accidentally. So, we're going to continue with this train wreck. Alright. Hey, Kasea. I see Zen in here, too. Alright, the days have been hectic, filled with activity and excitement. Life in the university is hopping with students running to and fro. Everywhere you look, there are unusual things lying about. For example, an incomprehensible object which looks like a dusty bag of potatoes is currently sitting in the middle of the hallway. At least that's what I think it looks like. To be honest, I have no idea what it is and why it's even here. But everyone is doing what they can, and we're no exception. Preparing for the University of Arts Festival has taken up all of our free time. Right now, I'm heading to our spot on the rooftop. The guys are already there waiting for me. Oh, I guess they actually have to walk around. Sergei is standing nearby in the hallway. He thoughtfully studies the papers on the notice board. Occasionally cocking his head, he sighs deeply, then repeats the process all over again. Despite my hesitation to interrupt him, I had hoped he might notice me standing here. But he doesn't. Hi. Unwilling to stand quietly by any longer, I decide to nudge him out of his thoughts. Sergei doesn't answer right away, but after a few seconds. Ah, Teru. Hello. He then turns back to the wall, sighs, and continues staring at it again. Sergei is rather melancholy today. It's so unlike him. Shut up. Don't. Really? Really? That's what you got out of it? Okay, I'm gonna touch him. He looks so calm and focused, but I can't ignore him. It's been quite a while since we last talked. Who knows when the next opportunity will come around. I reach out and touch his shoulder. Sergei flinches and spins around, and I accidentally touch his forehead. He feels pretty hot. I wonder if he's sick. If he is, he needs to be taken care of. Maybe I should offer him some medicine, or take him to see the nurse. Teru, what are you doing? Me? I was just checking your temperature. I think you might be sick. Maybe it was rude of me to so unceremoniously invade his personal space like that, but when it comes to other people's health, propriety can wait. Yes, and perhaps this is a good opportunity for both of us to become better friends. Besides, I don't want to just run off again like last time. He looks me straight in the eye, then begins to closely examine my face, his eyes slowly scanning my features. It's kind of embarrassing. I reviewed the list of participants for the festival, and it seems I'm not on it. He lets out a sigh filled with sadness and disappointment. It seems they've decided that I'm not allowed to participate in such an important event, since I'll be heading home soon. I expected this to happen, but it's a hard thing to accept. In an attempt to console him, I pat Sergei on the shoulder. It really is unfair. I rarely agree with the department's policies. This is definitely not one of those times. Everyone should be able to take part in the festival. Exchange students can then focus on their department afterwards. This is so stupid. I turn my gaze to the information board. My eagle-like eyes quickly take in most of the names on the list. Thankfully, I didn't forget to wear my contact lenses today. I'm just letting you guys know I've already had a drink. I'm a drinking already. I'm okay, I guess. Thank you for your concern. I shouldn't be complaining to you about my plight. It's okay, I'm here if you ever need an air. My friends usually comfort me when I need it, so I'm more than happy to do the same for Sergei. Wait, there! I point to line number 407. You're on the list. What? Yeah, they shortened your name a little, probably from translating it incorrectly, but you're there for sure. Hi, Total 91. 91, 911. Okay. Really? Eyes wide with a broad smile stretch across his face. Sergei instantly begins to beam. I'm surprised he's capable of such emotions. Really? Why? What would I do without you? He gently yet briefly puts his arm around my shoulder. And here I always thought most Russian men were tall, stern, unsociable brutes. Really, Teru? That's racist. But Sergei isn't like that at all. My heart twinges with the realization of how little I really know about the guy. In my opinion, you're not at all like other Russians. I don't know about really drunk, but we'll see. Yikes, that sounded so much less polite than I had intended. But contrary to my expectations, Sergei isn't bothered by it at all, and he only smiles even wider. I don't think I've ever seen him angry before. That would certainly be an interesting sight. I know. Tell me about it. Freaking Teru. Do you think all Russian men wear fur hats and keep bears as pets? I'm too embarrassed to admit that he's not entirely wrong. Granted, it's unlikely for Russians to keep bears. Fur hats, on the other hand. No, but... Well, in any case, we're not all like that. Is it me, or did he just give himself away? Ah, that was confusing and a bit startling. Okay. Allow me to let you in on a little secret. My father is from Korea, and he met my mother there. They fell in love, got married, moved to Russia, and had me. A beautiful end to a wonderful story. Anyhow, I think that may be why I tend to gravitate towards Eastern countries and cultures. Yes, you came in at the right time. And I don't wear fur hats. He tries to stifle a laugh. By the way, did you need something? Well, no, not really. I just wanted to say hello and... You know, the last time we talked? Sorry I didn't respond. But I have time now, and I'd like to take you up on your offer. I think you invited me to the library? I don't know why I'm offering now after so much time has passed, but I can't help but feel like there's been a tension between us ever since that day, and we've barely said a word to each other. Although we have texted a little. His cheeks look really red. Are you feeling okay? You don't look well. I take a step closer and place my hand on his cheek. You're hot. No, I'm fine. He fiercely rubs his face. I didn't think you cared about me, and I thought you'd forgotten all about that. But, really? You'd like to go? She is very dense. Of course, and maybe afterwards we can have a picnic or go into town. Then I'll write you tonight, and we can make plans. The boy's eyes gleam with excitement as he quickly types something into his phone, probably a note in his calendar so he won't forget. Sure. I'll think of something for us to do. It'll be a surprise. Okay. Surprises are wonderful. I should make something for Sergei, too. When it comes to relationships, it's important not to not only take, but to also give. I wave goodbye to Sergei and proceed to proudly walk down the hallway. I just hope he doesn't think this is a date. The thought worries me a little. Just a little. There's no way Sergei has feelings for me. We barely talk, at least not like I do with the other guys. And feelings of love don't just come about for no reason at all. But even so, well, if Sergei does like me, I'll have to turn him down. This is an extremely uncomfortable situation to be in. Hey, Gray Fox, it's been a while. How was your vacation? It seems I've gotten myself in a bind. Yet again. No, we don't have that type of relationship. I shake my head and toss any misconceptions out of my mind. Learning is always more fun with others. Maybe I'll bring the guys along. Really? You're gonna bring the guys along on the freaking date? I hope I can find the time to get together with him. After all, he is leaving soon. Okay, I need to hurry to the roof. First thing, no, I wasn't saying eck about you. I was reading the dialogue. Alright, so roof. There we go. The only place in the university that's peaceful right now is up here on the rooftop. How I love the feeling of unity in action. Yes, Changeling is pretty good. It's almost like the good old days. Ha! As in previous years, we've been given assignments and then divided into small teams. Fortunately, we always end up in the same group. It's nice having a friend with connections on the student council. Yeah, Suzuki will do anything to achieve his goals. I just hope he didn't promise the council president anything in return for the favor. Like a date, or something else. I wince. Don't worry, Teru. He turned her down. Ha! But that hasn't stopped her from hanging all over Senpai every moment she gets. I don't even want to think about what they do together when no one is looking. Suzuki isn't like that. He's not a playboy. My ass he isn't. He totally is. Kaga smiles and gently strokes my head. But he has his own harem. And yet he only enjoys working in our group. He's comfortable with us. Yeah, she calls him senpai. Of course, who'd want to work with a woman who'd rather be snooping around his bathroom sniffing his clothes? Teru, you say that like you're not just as bad. Am I? Sad as it sounds, Kaga isn't entirely wrong. Not entirely. But I don't chase after him in between every class. I don't call his phone every 5 minutes. If I did, he'd hate me. And that's why I refuse to do it. Thinking about it now, Suzuki definitely knows how to play women, using his words to get whatever he wants from them. Besides, if I ever end up at his house, I won't be there just to smell his t-shirts. They kind of are. Kaga laughs cheerfully, but it's apparent I'm brooding, and so she reaches her hand out to my cheek. I know you're not like that. You cherish him, like you cherish all of us. Uh-huh. Kaga's right, but I want Senpai to love me in return, and to not see me as just another girl. I look down. I treasure him. Heck, I pretty much fell in love with him the moment we met. It's been 3 years already. But now there's a hindrance. A very large hindrance. The door to the roof opens, and there he is. Subaru is carrying a box filled with paper and paint, while Senpai follows behind holding some rags. You guys with the car names. Okay, I don't know why they named the guys after cars. Yo, girls. Senpai's smile warms my heart. I've been spending a lot of time with Subaru lately. God, now I'm laughing every time I say their name. Oh shit, this is what happens when I drink. Okay, I've been spending a lot of time with Subaru lately, and so little with Suzuki. We need to fix that somehow. I don't know where Nissan is at. Hey! The hindrance wearily plops down right next to the blanket that's spread out before us. Be gone! That's Suzuki's spot. Ohio! Raising my hand high, I salute like the leader of an Indian tribe. I can't show that peasant any affection, at least not while Suzuki is looking. I guess somewhere up high my prayers were heard because Subaru pays no attention to me and proceeds to sort through the brightly colored paint jars. He opens and sniffs each one to determine if the paint has spoiled or not. Watching him, I grin. It's quite an amusing sight, almost like Subaru's an old woman picking through overripe fruit at the grocery store. What? Do you want to take a sniff too? What? His question takes me by surprise. With a mischievous glint in his eye, he holds the jar close to my face. No, I'm not sniffing that. I'm not sniffing it. Why should I sniff that stuff? Those bottles have been sitting in the workshop since last year, and now he's shoving them under my nose? Never. No way. I quickly push Subaru's hand away. Stop shoving that nasty crap in my face. Now, do you understand how useful I am? Come on. Don't you want to know what it's like being in charge of quality control? He forces the jar under my nose. Even from afar, I can smell how pungently gross the paint is. No! I jump away with the intention of escaping the sadist, but my foot catches on the edge of the blanket and knocks over something cold and sticky. Not wanting to see what it is, I quickly kick it aside, but I'm unable to keep my balance and fall. Ah! Tarnation! Who says tarnation? Please don't break anything. Gah! I've fallen again! Just how much can one person fall? A lot, apparently. But I land on something soft, and it smells nice, and it's definitely not the ground. Teru, are you okay? Are you hurt? To my surprise, I'm not hurt at all. I'd have expected at least a bump on my forehead, but I'm completely unharmed. Suzuki's green eyes study me with worry. This is how it should have been from the very beginning. If I had only fallen into Suzuki's arms then. Senpai glares spitefully at Subaru as he gently strokes my shoulder, which sends a shiver through my body. It didn't hit my head, so there's no way I'm dreaming this, or am I? Are you sure you're okay? I think so. Of course, we're often close while watching movies together or playing Twister. Who plays Twister? But this is something else entirely. I'm so closely pressed against him right now, nothing like this has ever happened to me before. I'm graduating soon, and there'll be no one to catch you when you fall. If you're not careful, you won't survive the coming year. Can you stand up, or do you need help? I don't need anything, thank you. I'm perfectly fine lying here just like this. I just hope I'm not crushing Senpai with my weight. Yes, even if he is being crushed, I hope he tolerates it just a little bit, while we have the chance. I'm glad you're okay, Teru. But if anyone should be catching you, it's me. Even when she's running away from you, like now? Subaru bites his lip, but Senpai only smiles. Let's get to work. I don't want to be here all night. I can't. I can't get up. My body refuses to listen to me. Well, I'll just lie here a little longer, rest a bit, and then tonight, or maybe tomorrow, I'll get up. Hey, Kebi was here, and he left, damn it. I'm gonna say hi. Suzuki's warm hands gently lift me up, and I'm begrudgingly torn away from him. Kaga pats me on the back while Senpai offers me a rag. Your foot. You don't want it to look like you stepped in excrement. Ugh! I'll kill that monster. If looks could kill, Subaru would be dead right now. My new shoes. You're buying me a new pair. Just look at what happened because of you. Angrily, I jab a finger into Subaru's chest. If you wanted to go shopping, you could have just said so. He shrugs. If it's my fault, then I'll buy you new shoes. That was easy enough. Suspiciously so. And I'm picking out the most expensive pair. They'll be so expensive you won't be able to afford them. That's fine. Hey, what about me? Suzuki squeezes himself into our argument. Teru nearly tore my shirt. Look, there's a button that's unbuttoned. What if I can't button it now? He speaks politely with a faint voice, batting his eyelashes like a pretty girl. All of my friends are actors. Or clowns. I haven't decided which one yet. It's a shame I wasn't hurt in this mess as well. Although, look, such a terrible sight has strained my eyes. Kaga feigns a pained expression while holding a hand to her forehead. If you're going shopping, then I'm coming with too. First we get our work done, then we can go shopping, or whatever. Subaru seems extremely agitated right now. Well, that's what he gets for antagonizing me with that nasty paint. I need a sip. I gotta keep drinking, you guys. I've been reading a lot. Kaga drags the brushes over while Suzuki spreads the paper out. I then hand pencils and paint out to everyone. So, lady and gentlemen, what's our assignment today? The council president asked us to create a layout of the fairground, which will be held out in the courtyard, so we need to draw a map for the signboard. Wouldn't it be 100 times easier doing this in Photoshop? Why are we drawing it? You can't even argue with that. She could have asked the guys in the design department to do it instead. They have the skill and access to the computers to get it done quickly. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be that bad. That's when I'm taking shots. Why have us do it by hand? Although there are worse things. Last year our group was forced to paint all of the trees in the courtyard for the Singaporean delegation gala. I still remember that the diplomats' faces as they walked in, and our dean calmly looked on from afar. We transformed every freaking plant in that courtyard into an animal, painting every single leaf. We didn't sleep for a week, and that's not even counting the time it took us to plan it. Although, what am I complaining about? We were paid a rather large scholarship for the job. I smile. Thinking about last year? Yeah. The courtyard looked pretty wild after the rain turned the painted animals into grotesque monstrosities. It was so crazy it actually ended up in the paper. I don't know why he's You would think his hand has probably fallen asleep by now. We created monsters. Subaru cups his hands into the jaws of a beast and begins snapping them at me. Oh, leave me alone. I wave my arms about frantically as if I'm trying to repel a vile creature. And everyone laughs. Even though we're unhappy with the given task, we decide to approach it with enthusiastically. I do notice there are a lot of sparklies and stars around these guys. God. Besides, this is much easier than last year's project. Kaga begins penciling out the terrain's layout so we can decide where everything should go. So, why do we have to draw it? So our artistic genius doesn't want to draw? Although, to be fair, I'm questioning the point of it myself. Why do you always have to complicate things? Well, if you must know, then I'll tell you. Haha. It's because of this year's theme. Senpai slowly raises his hands up into the air, both drawing our attention to him and hushing us at the same time. His slow, deliberate movements create an air of mystery about him. And that thing is made by hand. Receiving absolutely no reaction from us, he drops his arms in disappointment. Are you not shocked? Are you not in awe? None of us move. We simply stare at him with bored expressions on our faces. Meh. All group projects must be done by hand. You should be thanking me that I got us assigned to a relatively easy task. We could be in charge of making the tents, you know. I know this may surprise you, but almost everything in this university is done by hand. Well, this time, absolutely everything will be done by hand. Senpai pretends to draw a rainbow over his head. So does that mean we need to hand draw every copy of the courtyard plan? Boring. It's not gonna be fun. Suzuki, what was your president thinking when she came up with this ridiculous idea? Senpai shrugs his shoulders. You've seen her. Well, yes, and? What do you expect from a blonde with such amazing assets? Logic isn't exactly her strong point. Really? Really? He fucking said that. I half expect them to start joking about my assets again, but thankfully no one mentions it. God, why do I even like this character? Ominous? I'm not sure what ominous is. Sure, if you want to send me a key, I'll take a look at it. I don't know if it has cavernulas or not. Everyone laughs. It's just that the council president has a way of wrapping people around her finger, which is how she has so much sway here in the university. At first, Senpai had also succumbed to her charms, but thankfully he came to his senses. But for a while there, I was worried that we had lost him. She said that the dean was so impressed with our work last year that he wanted to see what his star pupils were capable of. But what can we possibly be capable of without using computers? Ugh. So we're partially to blame? Seems so. Maybe the dean squandered the school's budget. Yeah, and if his top students don't help make the festival a success, they'll toss him in jail. And if he ends up in jail, then I won't have to sniff his rotten paint anymore. What a pain. Haha. Everyone laughs again. I love the feeling of teamwork. Unity. Every cell of my body soaks it in, and I feel my soul launching skyward. Before I met the guys, I'd never have thought that group work could be so much fun. It could be so fun and exciting. Senpai plots out the location of all the trees, and Subaru draws a variety of entrances, exits, and workstations for the volunteers. I then pencil in the locations of information booths. Don't tell me you forgot something. I hate to disappoint you, but yes. We have to make the tents, don't we? Suzuki is quite often forgetful, probably because he has so much going on in his life between the student council, studying 2 majors, and working a part-time job. It's too much for one person, but he does surprisingly well with it all. He's 3rd in his class, 5th in sports, and has a bunch of friends and girlfriends. No, we're not making the tents, but if you'd like to, I can. No! That was glorious. Anyhow, it seems I forgot the list of volunteers, and I can't remember how many there'll be. We need a date organizer, one with a lot of memory. And I'll personally add all of your upcoming appointments and dates. If I don't, you'll probably end up missing your own grandson's birth. They're being a little harsh, but I think Senpai's forgetfulness has been getting to them lately. He forgot to wish Kaga a happy birthday just a few days ago, all because he'd been too wrapped up in his studies. But none of us can hold a grudge against another for very long. Besides, he ended up buying her an expensive present as an apology. I certainly wouldn't mind getting a special gift from Senpai. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Make sure to buy me the most expensive one. And perhaps Subaru can fetch the list for me. It's downstairs in the main lecture hall. Oh, really? Why do I have to go all the way down there? I'm not the one who forgot it. Besides, I'd rather draw these trees. Don't you dare ask me. This is your punishment for being so forgetful. Okay, fine. I'll go. Might as well stop off at the cafeteria for something tasty while I'm at it. Would anyone care to join me? Ha! I'm not biting this time. Not even for lemon sorbet. I really don't want to go all the way down to the 1st floor and back again. The elevator has been broken since last week. We'll have to use the stairs. All 10 flights of them. Although it is my first chance in a long while to be alone with Suzuki. Yeah, we're gonna go with them. We're gonna go with them. Because they're totally cheating on my accidental boyfriend. I'll go. I excitedly raised my hand. This is an excellent opportunity to be alone with him. Maybe we'll get to have a little heart-to-heart talk. I try to stand up, but that bloody blister on my heel is killing me. Oh, why did I wear these new shoes today? I don't really feel like tagging along, but I'd hate to miss out on the sweets. Of course I am. Kaga winks at me. Maybe you can bring me back a cherry meringue. Please, Teru? She licks her lips and gives me a thumbs up. I'm fine. Are you sure? No. Not even a lemon sorbet? Just go already. Annoyed, Subaru turns away and diligently continues drawing. Shall we go? Senpai offers me his hand and gallantly helps me up. We slowly descend the 10 long flights of stairs, while Suzuki cheerfully whistles the opening theme to a popular zombie show. The melody is long and drawn out, making it seem as if his whistling were somehow slowing down time itself. Anyhow, the series isn't actually that bad. I'm usually not one for zombie flicks, but that show is pretty fun. Maybe it's because the action in it is really good. I grin. I remember how when we watched it, Suzuki accidentally spilled tea all over Kaga. In retaliation, she attacked him with a pillow, and he ended up knocking me into Subaru mid-scuffle, which tossed salty peanuts all over the place. We made quite the mess. Feather, food, and drink had been thrown all over the place. It took me forever to wash it out of my hair. But the worst part was that we missed the death of one of the main characters. Not that the character was very likable, but his death really bothered me for some reason. Maybe it was for the best that I missed it. Teru? Hey, guys! Oh my gosh, I got all these people in here today. How long do you plan on staying there? Preoccupied with my thoughts, I hadn't realized that I stopped walking. Suzuki looks up at me from the landing below. I'm sorry, I was lost in thought. It's just a visual novel, you guys. It's not scary. But don't worry, I'll be getting back to scary games after I'm done with this. I'm sorry, I was lost in thought. I quickly catch up to him. It's fine, but we should hurry. Unless you want to listen to more of Subaru's complaining. No, not that. He continues to whistle softly as we walk. Suzuki ended up rewatching the entire season by himself and was absolutely shocked by the finale. It had him wandering around distraught for a week straight. Merle, my Merle. If you guys haven't figured out this fucking Walking Dead they're talking about. He would lament. He was the only charismatic hero on the show, and they killed him off. Suzuki stopped watching it after that. Senpai? Yes? Are you still upset over that show? My god, what am I asking? It's not like I enjoyed that cliffhanger either. But my question catches him off guard. Teru, that was 3 months ago. I'm fine now. But I'm happy that you remembered and continue to worry about me. He pats me on the head, although he doesn't like to admit it. He can be pretty emotional when it comes to films and often chokes up over them. Knowing this little secret about Suzuki warms my heart. Oh, look, an airplane. He leans against the window. Look at that long trail. He's just like a 10-year-old boy. But the airplane is certainly something to behold. Its streamlined shape and reflective surface almost makes it appear alien in origin. Images of round-headed aliens with big bug eyes run through my head. If one of them even thinks about hurting my father or Suzuki, I'll make them pay for it. I will protect my loved ones at all costs. My thoughts take me far away from reality, which isn't odd considering the creative person I am. It's a military plane. I wonder if my father is on it. You know that my father is a general in the army, right? Suzuki's question comes at just the right time. I had almost gotten lost in the jungle of my own thoughts again. I do. I don't know why, but whenever we're alone, it's difficult for me to formulate my thoughts and speak casually. He was home on leave the last 2 weeks, but jetted off again for the islands today. He won't be back for a while. Here's the thing. He's talking about jetting off to the islands, but isn't Japan an island? So what islands is he talking about? Oh, I don't know. This is establishing his character. This is character development. Sadness flashes through Suzuki's eyes, but quickly disappears. We had a farewell party 2 days ago. Both my mother and brother sobbed hysterically as he tried to entertain them with his silly dances. He promised to bring us back gifts from New Guinea. Do you know where that is? Should I respond to Senpai's nostalgic musings? What would I even say? I feel like I should be supporting him in some way right now. Dad said he has high hopes for me, and he wants to... that's enough. We'll never get that list at this rate. He quickly changes the subject. You're right about that. You seem to be distracted every time we pass by a window, anxiously searching for airplanes. If you wanted to stay on the rooftop to catch your father's departure, you should have said so. I would have fetched the list for you. I know this is important to you. Suzuki is about to say something, but stops himself. We're friends, and we should be helping each other, but now... Sigh. Honestly, his plane isn't nearly as important to me as you think. Did I upset him somehow? Or does he not want to share his problems with me? Ugh! I always ruin everything. What if he thinks I'm a bad friend? As we walk down the hall, I keep searching for the right words to console him with. He's definitely upset right now. If Kaga was here, she'd know exactly what to say. Suzuki. What's the most important thing to you? Time. Time? Yes, the time I spend with you, Suru and Kaga. The time I spend in this university. The time I spend working to achieve all of my goals. Me too. Ooh, me too? I think Kaga was, or whatever, Taylor was supposed to say that. I feel much the same way. Suzuki, I know exactly what you mean. And yes, everything that Kaseya is saying is 100% correct, so just be ready for it. But there's going to be some fun stuff for you guys here soon. Yes, time is certainly dear to all of us. You're a good girl, Teru. He pats me on the head again. Suzuki! Gotcha! Spectacular blonde jumps behind Suzuki and covers his eyes with her hands. Milena? How did he know it was her? Although, who else rubs herself all over guys like she does? She's always looking for attention. What are you doing here? I thought you went with the secretary to sign some papers. I often catch Suzuki talking to other girls, but it's apparent Milena holds a special place in his heart. Baby. He's not as polite and quite a bit more relaxed with her. Watching them now, a wave of anxiety runs through me. I certainly hope he's not interested in her romantically. Well, I forgot something, and had to come back, and here you are. I don't know, maybe it's fate. We're just in the hallway. She shoots me a bitter glare, then continues talking to Suzuki as if I'm not even here. Like I'm an irritating gnat that's interfering with her sunbathing. She didn't even say hello to me. By the way, Ju called me. Oh, how is she? Suzuki's face quickly loses all expression. She's up in the mountains and feeling great. Good. I'm happy for her. But I'm here. How about going somewhere with me on this Saturday? There's this club I've been wanting to check out, and my brother got me tickets. She moves closer to Suzuki and playfully runs her finger over his chest. I can't believe that hussy is pawing him up right in front of my face. And my fury reaches cosmic proportions. Yeah, I don't think anybody's supposed to like her. Suzuki is busy Saturday. I grab his hand and pull him towards me. We're watching a TV show together. Milena scrunches her face in disgust, almost like she just noticed a spider sitting on her nose. All day. And all night long. I'm sorry, but our plans are more important. I shamelessly push the girl aside and tramp down the hallways, dragging Suzuki behind me. Whew! We're finally here. I thought I was going to die back there. Senpai doubles over in laughter. Oh, Teru, I didn't think you had it in you. I pout. Did he really expect me to just sit there and watch that hussy paw him up right in front of me? I've heard the rumors about their relationship. Don't look so upset. Settling himself down, he takes a deep breath. Thank you, Teru. You literally saved me from an unpleasant evening with that busty beauty. Unable to hold back his amusement, he bursts into laughter again. I told her the truth. Yes. Even so, I'm not interested in going anywhere with her. We spend more than enough time together talking about consular affairs. Finally, settling down, he remembers our mission and begins prowling around for the list. Besides, it's much more interesting talking with you, Teru. I'm glad he's in a good mood right now, but talking to Milena was an extremely unpleasant experience for me. She's the type of girl that would bully me back in high school. Needlessly confident, always forcing her opinion onto others, never caring about who she hurts in the process. I shudder. The lecture hall is empty. Classes have long since ended, and evening classes are held in another building. Where are you? Where are you, my little paper? My dear, sweet list. Where could you be hiding? He seems to be in a good mood again, acting like his usual self. Suzuki begins scouring the area, searching the desks and seats intently for any sign of the list. Could some insidious individual have taken you? I was sure I had left it on the podium. I'm not even sure what the list is supposed to look like. For all I know, it could be written on toilet paper. I sigh and sit down at a nearby desk. My foot is killing me. Stupid shoes. Why did I have to wear heels today? I'm no Cinderella. I miss sneakers, but Kaga doesn't let me get away with wearing them very often. The president is going to murder me. I was supposed to make copies. I'll help, and I won't even ask for anything in return. Where could it be? The room is bright and clean. If the list is indeed in here, we should be able to find it quickly enough. Assuming it's here, that is. Alright, I'm not even going to mess around with looking around. Well, no, actually, there are a couple of things I need to look at because it gives some backstory. Hold on, which ones are they? Alright. Someone forgot a pink pencil case, or is that a cosmetic bag? It's the council president's. She's always leaving stuff everywhere. It's just her pencils. I wonder what kind of relationship they have. I'm too afraid to ask, though. Suzuki's voice came from the far corner of the room. It seems he's digging through the closets now. Why are you looking in there? I thought you left it on a table. You never know where it could have gotten to. You know how it is. You leave something on the nightstand only to find it in the washing machine the next day. That only happens to you. I shrug and continue my search. Alright, so I think I have to look at the computer because there's some... Okay. If you could hack into it, if you could hack into it, I wonder if you'd find our exam answers. Someone did that a couple of years ago. I think it was Senpai's first girlfriend. She got expelled for it. She wasn't upset, though, and happily moved away to some mountain village. If all of that was true, I wonder why she enrolled in the university in the first place. Well, I won't ask him about it, at least not now. Alright. I don't need to look at all this stuff. Whew, this room certainly is stuffy. But only the teachers have access to the fan's remote control. I wonder if Suzuki could get his hands on it, like how he got us the key to the roof. If he hadn't done that, our quiet lunches up on the rooftop would never have become our little tradition. Actually, it's against university rules to be up there. If they ever catch us, we could be reprimanded for it, but... It's been 3 years, and we've yet to get caught. I don't think that's blind luck. I'm pretty sure someone has influence over the administration, and he doesn't exactly try to hide it. Yes, that was Ju, and she got caught for hacking into the computer for the exam answers and expelled. So that's why I wanted to make sure I got that bit there. Most of this other stuff doesn't really mean much. Oh, I spot a piece of paper sticking out from under a nearby desk. It peeks at me flirtatiously, almost as if beckoning me over. We'll grab the paper. Suzuki, I think I found it. He comes over to take a look at my find. I try kneeling down to show him, but my blister is killing me. I think it's starting to bleed, too. Unable to get any closer, I simply point below the desk. Is that it? It is! It's my child! My beautiful, beautiful child! Senpai crawls under the desk to grab it, and I turn to look away. Why is he lingering there? I look back after a moment. Where is he? Where did he go? He's gone. Did he find something else interesting? Ha! Gotcha. I have to say, I think her face is drawn kind of not great here. Oh my god. Laughing cheerfully, he grabs me from behind and holds me close. Thank you, Teru. If I'd come alone, I'd probably never have found it, and the council president would have read me the riot act, or worse. Forced you on a date? It does look very odd. I think it's the shading, actually. Bullseye. I don't understand. Not 10 minutes ago he seemed somber and upset, but now he's happy and having so much fun. Oh yeah, I need to talk to him about something. Hopefully he'll understand, and together we'll be able to figure it out. He might be. But I can't help worry about it, how he'll react. It's so hard, damn it. Why is it so damn hard? Always happy to help. He smiles joyfully and holds me a little closer. Stop. Won't this make me look loose? Well, I mean, I have a boyfriend and Suzuki is now hugging me. I know we're friends, but... By the way, Teru, I've been meaning to ask you something. What is it now? Is he going to ask me how things are going with Subaru? If so, can I just gag him? I don't want to talk about it with him. Okay, I'm going to have to say, that was the best I can come up for that translation because I think the original Russian had her saying, won't that make me look like a slut? And I don't know, I thought that was going a little far. So anyways, how are things with my grumpy friend? Has he been treating you well? I knew it. I had hoped this beautiful embrace would last a little longer, but alas. What if he finds out about the truth and thinks I'm being overly dramatic when I end up telling him everything? If you're worried that he's hurt me at all, well, he hasn't. He's actually rather caring and attentive, even though it might look like it. It might not look like it. Subaru's a really great guy. Although he does annoy me a bit when he teases me. But let's not talk about that. Oh yeah, she's past that point. But don't worry, like I told you, this twist at the end, you're gonna be like, really? So there is something you're not happy about. No, it's fine. I'm happy with him. Everything is good. Even when he teases me a little. I'm sure Suzuki is happy to hear that. But sometimes I don't understand him at all. Things can be so confusing and complicated between us. Well, it's Subaru. It's to be expected. He has a very strong personality and likes to be in control of things. As long as he's making the decisions, he's happy. We're all like that in some ways. The conversation has shifted in another direction, and I'm not at all sure what I really want anymore. Is it really better to just go with the flow and not fight it? Really? So it's in his character to be so intense all the time? Are you telling me it's just his personality and he doesn't truly care about me? Oh, I'm saying way too much. As delighted as I am to have this chance to share my feelings with Suzuki, I need to stop talking. He ponders for a moment, then hesitantly replies. No, I didn't say that. I shake my head in frustration. You know, if he ever hurts you, you can come to me with your tears. Oh boy. I'll come for you as a man should. He breathes that last phrase directly into my ear, sending goosebumps down my spine. What is he doing? Is this the insidious side of him I keep hearing about in all of the rumors? Can I cry now? God, what am I doing? I should be ashamed of myself for speaking so boldly. I love how Kasei is freaking out over there. Oh my god, Senpai looks at me in surprise. I'm sure he didn't expect me to respond to his invitation so quickly. But crying is not enough, you guys. So it seems my rigid friend has done something to hurt you. No, it's okay, I'm only joking. I just wanted to see how serious you were about your offer. That didn't sound convincing at all. There's an awkward pause. And, well, I always speak truthfully, and I don't make promises I don't intend to keep. His face suddenly grows serious, and it scares me a little. Standing in front of me, he spreads his arms wide and invites me into his embrace. Come here. As if I would miss an opportunity to be so close to my beloved senpai, I wrap my arms around Suzuki and bury my nose in his chest. I feel his hands slide down my back and stop at my waist, and I squeeze harder. If he wants to keep going, I won't even stop him. Oh, God. Oh, shit. After all I've been through these last few months, let him comfort me. My heart is beating wildly, and I know, and my cheeks flush. And she was calling Milena hussy. I think I hear Suzuki's heart pounding beneath my chest, but I don't want to get my hopes up. Senpai begins to soothingly rub my back. Hey, unique you. Teru, whatever problems you're having, they can always be fixed. Suzuki's sweet and gentle words entice me to do something indecent. He leans in close and is about to touch my head with his lips, but hesitates. I can't take it anymore. I want so badly to do something. Something I'll be convicted and thrown into jail for. Well, I wouldn't go that far. And I will always be here to support you, no matter what. Always and forever? Of course. I'm being too pushy, and he's being too playful and close. This is beyond simple friendship. We shouldn't be doing this. I wish everything had ended up differently, that all the promises I made had never happened. But that can never be. I sigh. We continue to embrace each other, and I don't want to ever leave his arms. This feels so good. After a while, Suzuki lifts his head and moves his hands to my shoulders as if he's about to say something, but doesn't. Senpai is always cheerful and confident, and popular with so many beautiful girls. What could I possibly mean to him? I'm only his friends. But even so, I don't mind, as long as we can be close like this. Besides, if he was interested in me, he would have made a move a long time ago. But he didn't. They're probably waiting for us. We should head back. Yeah. We stop at the cafeteria, then head back up to the roof to our friends. Teru. Is your leg hurting you? He noticed. Yeah, a little. New shoes? How did you know? Well, I have sisters, so I'm privy to a lot of the problems that women have. And I'm not just talking about shoes. Senpai has practically grown up in a harem. I wonder if surrounding himself with one at school is something he does subconsciously. Nah, I'm sure he can't live without the attention. But if that's the case, is it even possible for me to become the only one for him? Do I have what it takes to make him look at me and only me? Who knows? But maybe if I try. What was it like growing up surrounded by women? It was terrible. I always had to listen to them talk about their nails, hair, and makeup. Not to mention them dressing me up like a doll, painting my face and braiding my hair whenever it grew too long. Nasty wenches, all of them. It seems I've learned a few interesting details about Senpai's life today. Thankfully, when my brother was born, they all shifted their attention to him, and once those harpies were old enough, they flew out of our parents' nest. I don't think I would have been able to endure them forever. With how he grew up, you would think he'd have a distaste for the fairer sex, but it's quite the opposite. Here, let me help you. Suzuki offers me his arm so I can lean on him. If you can, I can carry you. What? No. I mean, yes, but Yes, I'm sure Subaru would disapprove. There's no reason to make my friend jealous. He grins. Although it might be a little fun. If you didn't mind. Suzuki. I was hoping to prolong our walk a bit longer. Heck, if we were bowling, I'd pay for an extra round just so we could be together for another game. Yeah, Subaru. Unfortunately, that's not how life works. Senpai thinks I have a business plan that'll make me millions, and that I don't really need to complete my studies. If only I had superpowers that could stop time. By the way, I hope we can keep our conversation between us. He stops right before opening the door to the roof and extends his pinky out to me. I grab it with mine and shake it in agreement. Of course. It's our secret. I'm incredibly happy I was able to spend this time with Suzuki. I've learned so many new things about him today. We spend the rest of our day on the roof working hard on our assignment. Even though there's tension in the air, I can't help but cherish this warm feeling in my chest. I want to feel like this for as long as possible. And I hope everything works out. That chapter was longer than I remembered it. Chapter 4, Ambiguous Macaroon. Yeah, they are all fashionistas. But there's actually a reason behind that. Believe me, there is a lot of more setup to this that pays off later on than you expect, so. Oh my god. There's actually yes, it's an art school. I don't think, do they even have universities of art where you actually live there? I don't think so. Well, maybe. Time flies as we hurriedly prepare for the festival. We quickly accomplish the tasks that had been assigned to us, then volunteer to help other groups in need. I decided to help Sergei's group, who's in charge of making cloth flags. Due to not being a very good seamstress, I've been given the job of painting stenciled designs on the fabric. Time passes quickly, and before I know it, the festival is already here. I haven't had a chance to talk to Subaru and Suzuki lately, although we briefly text each other in the evening. I can't help but feel like they're trying to avoid me. If it continues on like this, I'll never deal with my problem. Or maybe it'll just cease being a problem. At some point, I need to stop trying to swim upstream and just go with the flow. No, I can't do that. Sigh. I think back to when we first met and how we gradually became friends. We spent a lot of time together preparing for the festival then, too. And after getting to know each other during our joint endeavors, it was hard to part when we were done. We'd spent so much time together. We shared so many of the same interests. So we continued to meet on the rooftop and hang out together on the weekends. I can't wait to see all of the students' work. And the theme of this year's festival is so interesting. Surely there'll be some exotic creations. My phone is charged and ready. Kaga stands next to Subaru with her phone in hand. It's clear she's prepping to take a picture with him. Watch out! When Kaga starts snapping pictures for her blog, she'll torment you until she gets the perfect one. Lately, Kaga has been practically glued to Subaru's side. I don't know. He doesn't exactly look happy with her hanging around him all the time, but I don't think he wants to push her away and hurt her feelings either. At the same time, I'm constantly thinking about Suzuki. I'm so glad we had the chance to talk. I just want him to hold me and tell me more about himself. But how can I be alone with him again? You know, she really needs to just break up with Subaru. Seriously. Just break up with the guy. Maybe we'll see a banana man. A banana man? Banana? Why am I thinking about that pervy picture right now? Subaru grins. Apparently, he's also thinking about that picture of a banana chasing after cherries. Or were these strawberries? I can't remember. One of the groups made papier-mâché fruit, and I will parade them around the festival grounds. But why? Who knows? Subaru studies the handmade festival flyer with a puzzled look on his face. I can't figure out this flyer. It's not worth trying to figure out anything made by the Department of Modern Art. This looks like a deer head. And is that a mushroom? Although... No, I think it's an elephant and bullfighting each other. Honestly, they look like Rorschach blotches. Designers. By the way, Kaga, why did you go into art management instead of design? I think your skills are a much better fit for design rather than decorating. Kaga tilts her head and thinks for a moment. Well, I had considered it at first, but it was the schedule. Design majors have a hellish class schedule, and the building is on the far side of the campus. I shake my head in disappointment. Besides, I like getting people to do what I want. The girl's eyes literally sparkle as she raises a commanding hand and points at me. And it's worked well with you. Yeah. My goal is to make others great. I know all the nuances of other people's work, and I know how to make their creations famous. That is where the money is. Yeah, I guess. I don't necessarily agree with that. If you really want to control people, why not go into teaching or psychology? Or is it all in the art? I'm so confused. Sometimes I think too much. Subaru chews a gummy while looking out over the city. A long, gelatinous worm sticks out from the corner of his mouth, and he doesn't seem to be in any hurry to hide it. He appears to be thinking about something. Looking at him like this, the sight is a bit disgusting. Kaga flicks him on the nose and moves closer. Aw, what are you doing? Interrupting your inner turmoil. Whatever it may be. By the way, where's that brainless bum? Well, no, he has a brain, just no memory. He promised to be here. If he didn't forget. Teru! A disheveled-looking Suzuki bursts out onto the rooftop, grabs my shoulders, and shakes me. He then struggles to catch his breath as he pulls back the collar of his shirt and loosens his tie. Speak of the devil. You shouldn't have offered to help a student council member during the festival. Otherwise, they'll run you ragged. Amen. Teru! He pleadingly begs me with his eyes. Just like a puppy dog. Nah, he's more like that cat from the cartoon with the green ogre. I have no idea what they're talking about. Suzuki raises his hand to shush us, then takes a deep breath. You will help me, won't you? Again? I just ran up 10 flights of stairs, and this is the reception I get? It seems so. Suzuki defiantly puckers his lips, then takes my hands into his. Teru. Bringing them up to his lips, he stares at me with an incredibly pitiful expression on his face. Even the most heartless man on earth would be moved by this pug. Tensing up, Subaru pushes Kaga aside and rushes to my aid, pulling me from the clutches of the needy student council member. Oh, yeah, that is probably Shrek. That's enough of this circus, you clown. Get your hands off of Teru. Weren't you just hugging Kaga a moment ago? Am I not allowed to hold a pretty girl's hand? What do you want, Suzuki? Speak quickly. Kaga grabs his tie and gently pulls him to face her, staring him straight in the eye. Speak. It seems he pissed her off with that last remark. I'll do it. I can't stand watching this pitiful display any longer. Besides, he's always asking me for help. It's rarely anything complicated or criminal. I just hope whatever you need is quick and cheap. Suzuki beams, freeing himself from Kaga's clutches. He quickly utters, "Of all my friends, I have always known that Teru was the one with the biggest heart. Anyhow, the festival starts soon, and I forgot to post the Student Council's official announcement. It's extremely important. What about the festival maps? Did you forget to hang them too?" Of course not. Seems easy enough. Is that all? Not entirely. Everyone is now bristling with irritation. We spent so much time and energy preparing for the festival that everyone had been hoping for a well-deserved day off. Do it yourself. Kaga and Subaru almost simultaneously turn away. How fortunate I am to have Teruchi as a friend. I don't know what that is supposed to be, but whatever. She'll certainly help me. Suzuki reaches out to stroke my hair, but Subaru grabs his arm. Fine, I'll help. What do you need me to do? I'm so glad you asked. I have a bunch of posters that need to be posted up around at the university. I'd do it myself, but I don't think I'll finish in time. There's also a box of Sergei's handmade flags. They're in the back room. Sergei and my flags. I helped make them too. And I'm certainly happy he was allowed to participate in the festival. Flags need to decorate the halls. They're rather pretty, sewn from different types of fabrics and naturally dyed with flowers. Teru, what would you like to do? Alright, so this is where... Alright, so this is where we're going to... hey, Sam. I think I do the posters. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. Alright, so we're going to do the posters, because that's with Suzuki. I'll help you put up the poster, Suzuki. I'm the one he asked for help anyway. Something inside of me hopes that Senpai arranged this little play just so he could be alone with me. But I fantasize way too much, really. Excellent. Suzuki places his hands on my shoulders and pushes me towards the exit. As for you, my friends, flags. The flags. Kaga claps her hands together and jumps towards Subaru. He's clearly unhappy with the situation, but doesn't object. Kaga's clearly got her hands all over Subaru, so... Yeah, but I see you pop in. Move, move, onward. Suzuki's phone rings and he stops to answer it. I think Gabby must have fallen asleep. There's not enough. Clearly there's not enough fucking in this game for him. Or in this visual novel. Suzuki's phone rings and he stops to answer it. Yes. I know. Yeah. Yes, I understand. I knew it. He's probably watching a Resident Evil 4 speedrun or something. He shouts angrily, and sorry, my cat is hacking up a fur ball right next to my freaking microphone. He shouts angrily into the phone, then hangs up. Seeing him like this makes me nervous. It seems he lost his temper. I'm sorry, Teru. Did something happen? He tries to smile and say something, but decides against it. Oh, to hell with it. I could smile and act like nothing is wrong, but that's not true. You know that you can always depend on me. I move closer and place my hand on his shoulder. Breathe. He thinks for a moment, then shakes his head. My father did it. He has a friend who works at a prominent military university in the United States. You already know that all of my sisters have chosen non-military careers. Doctor, lawyer, pilot, but none of them have gone into the military. And his dream has always been to have one of his progeny follow in his footsteps, to become a soldier. He grunts. Of all his children, I am the most useless, he says, and I have chosen a pointless profession. I bite my lip in anger. How could anyone believe that being an artist is pointless? The days of the starving artists, those who are only successful after death, are long gone. There are a lot of ways to make money with art these days. It just depends on the person. You can draw graffiti, make games, create manga, become an illustrator, a designer. Yes, there are many ways. Once I'm finished with my studies here, I'll be shipped into exile. Meh. Meh. Suzuki shakes his head as he speaks. I'm a bit shocked by this news, so I simply shake my head along with him. I'll pack my bags and follow him to the ends of the earth if I have to, even if he refuses to let me come with him. They're adults, yeah, but clearly his dad's a military man, and he's putting pressure on the kid. Well, the guy. I don't like it when parents force their children into careers they don't want. Everyone should have the right to choose for themselves. But what about your brother? My younger brother has recently taken up the guitar and plays in a rock band. He dyed his hair red, wears chains, has pierced every part of his body that can possibly be pierced, and now he thinks the world is his oyster. Although my father hasn't seen him yet. Oh, a war is on the horizon. I laugh, although the conversation is rather serious. Senpai is always upbeat. Your mother must be a saint to allow your brother to dress like that, considering he's only 13. My mother is indeed an angel, although I think she might be getting tired of raising so many children at this point. I'm sure she fervently awaits the day when the last of us leaves the nest. Just realizing it now, I'd been rubbing Suzuki's arm this entire time. Coming to my senses, I immediately pull my hand away. Teru, thank you. But all I did was listen to him, although it's apparent that was enough. After chatting with you, I feel a little better now, but let's keep this bit of news between us, okay? Yes, Angel. After all, nothing has been decided yet. I nod in agreement. Is there anything I can do to help with the situation? Perhaps I can break into his house and convince his parents that Senpai is too good to clean toilets in the barracks. He's meant for greater things. But being an artist to Suzuki is like being a fashion model to me. He's more likely to be a manager like Kaga, or an actor. Although it seems all I can do now is wait for him to leave, but I don't want him to move far away. Well, you wanted to know, and now you're upset. Suzuki, will you tell me if anything changes? Of course. I promise you'll be the first to know. He strokes my head. Let's get back to work. I'd like to finish up quickly. Alright, I gotta walk around and put these posters up. Ugh. We proudly walk through the hallways, sticking posters here and there, although we could clearly have too many of them. Teru, I have 10 left, and I'm tired of looking for places to stick them. Don't worry about using so much tape, just toss them up wherever. Okay. I hold the posters in my hands. They're big and cumbersome, and I'm having a hard time holding onto them. Unexpectedly, one of them slips out of my hands and flutters away from me. Gah! Where is it going? It lands right at the feet of a rather familiar busty blonde. The girl picks it up and glances it over as she taps her foot in annoyance. Well, well, well. Now what do we have here? Why is such an important task being handled by someone who isn't even on the student council, and who's unsupervised to boot? And right in the middle of the festival. She walks up to me and snatches at the posters I'm holding. Her abrupt movement causes me to lose my grip, and they scatter everywhere. Oh god. Hey, Hugo. Hey! Those were made by the students. They put a lot of work into them. You could be a little more careful. You're the one who dropped them, not me. She shrugs. What a shame. You should really get to picking them up. Just then, Senpai comes walking around the corner. He had lagged behind a little, distracted by a conversation with his ethics teacher. It sounded like he was unhappy about something. Ah, Milena. Hi. She props one hand on her waist while the other forcefully pokes its finger at the man's chest. You don't listen to me at all, do you? Didn't I tell you to do this yesterday? Yes, yes. He guiltily lowers his eyes while simultaneously giving me a thumbs up behind his back. I forgot. And just like that, he forgets. What about compensation? There will be compensation this evening, won't there? I quickly collect the posters while watching the scene from the corner of my eye. Again, She's all over him. Again. That hussy. I so badly want to bash her stupid head in with something heavy, but there's nothing nearby. I squeeze the posters in my hands. Oops, I shouldn't have crushed them. Tonight? Yes, tonight. Naughty boys need to be punished when they don't do what they're told. God, she's... I can't believe she's flirting with him like that in broad daylight, in front of witnesses. More importantly, why does Suzuki allow her to treat him like this? Well, maybe he likes being treated like that. Like, Melina runs her hand over his cheek, then down his chest and straight to his belt. Oh my god. What does she think she's doing? This is kind of awkward. I'm unsure if I should blush, close my eyes, or grab a blunt object. Suzuki grabs her hand and pushes it aside. I'll get it done. Another couple hours and everything will be ready. Besides, I have a helper, which is speeding things up. He winks at me. She takes a step back and gives him a disapproving look. What's going on with you? We had a good thing going, and now? You're getting so boring. Boring people don't belong on the council. She turns around and shoots me a scornful glance, and walks away. I'll be in my office tonight. I need to discuss something with you. Senpai sighs. I'm tired of that devious woman's whims. Then why do you tolerate her attitude towards you? What attitude? Well, it seems... No. I understand that Melina can be, in her own way, a nice girl, and... He waves his hand. I need the benefits that the student council offers. Do you really think someone who was unable to draw would last long in this place? Well, no. All of the volunteer work I do makes me indispensable. Everyone loves me for that. My sociability, my kindness, my desire to help, no matter what it is. It would be stupid of me to act any differently. Indifference and a bad attitude won't get me very far. I'm not an artistic genius like Subaru, so... That isn't what I meant at all. Ugh. Can we just change the topic? I don't want to talk about this. If you're worried about me, you shouldn't be. I know how to deal with pretty blondes. He silently walks down the hallway. Senpai's words really hurt. He didn't say it outright, but I know that he's only interested in pretty girls. And no one else. Oh boy. You were cooking. What were you cooking, Hugo? I angrily smack one of the posters against the wall with my hand. If I imagine that Melina's face is on it, I get the urge to finish more quickly. But if I imagine that it's Subaru's face instead, my urge to hurry subsides. Seems that trick only works with girls I don't like. Teru? Are you upset about something? No. No. Not at all. I put all of my strength right onto Melina's ears. Well, it's actually the edge of the poster, but I have a good imagination, so it's Melina's ear. You can't fool me. What did I do to anger you? Is it really so wrong that I want to know more about you? No, of course not. On the contrary, that's a good thing. A very good thing. Then why am I supposed to mind my own business when it comes to you? Well, I am a man, and I should be able to protect myself. Figures you would say something like that. I never said you couldn't. Tell me, do I need a bigger bra size to converse with you? Does a girl have to be stunningly beautiful for you to pay any attention to her? No, I never said that. That isn't... Wait, Teru, are you jealous? I freeze and my eyes shoot wide. Of course I'm jealous. I'm furious that Melina can walk right up to Subaru and paw all over him and I can't. Yes, I realize that would be inappropriate of me, but I don't care. I silently continue to hang the posters. Another hit. I'm getting a little worried here. I hope you don't use your karate skills on me. Who knows, maybe I will. And another hit. I see how vindictive you are. Okay. Moving closer, he places his hand on my head. I apologize for barking at you earlier. But your questions are sometimes really uncomfortable, and I don't know how to answer them. I don't want to answer them. But if you don't talk to me, then how will I ever know how you feel? Yes, you are right. Sometimes it seems like you know me even better than I know myself. And yes, perhaps someday I'll talk to you. I'd like to talk about it, but you can't rush me. I'm rushing you because I want to be closer to you, but I dare not say that. Everything is so uncertain. Put up more posters. Why don't you just drop out if art isn't your calling? Here we go again. Didn't I ask you to drop it? I'm too angry to keep quiet. Senpai sticks pieces of tape on the wall and I sharply slap the poster against it. You are not going to let this go until you hear the answer, are you? Nope. Anger has given me a boost of confidence. If only I felt such emotion more often, I'm sure I'd be braver and more willing to tackle my problems head on, not procrastinate while they fester and grow more troublesome like they normally do. I smooth out the corner of a poster which had been sticking out. There, that's better. Now it'll be beautiful for all of eternity. Alright, I give up. Unlike most other students, I never thought about what I wanted to do with my life. Well, more accurately, I wasn't thinking about myself when I enrolled here. I only did it because it went against my father's wishes. Wow. Suzuki is the first person I've talked to in this university who isn't following his dreams. Although I haven't really spoken to many of the other students. Still, people usually underestimate the study of art and often view it as a less legitimate pursuit than other academic endeavors. Were you a rebellious teen? Weren't you? Well, don't tell me you dyed your hair black with red stripes. Senpai scans the hallway to make sure no one is close by, then moves closer. Shaking his head, he sticks out his tongue. That is... Is it really? It is! His tongue is pierced. There's a little red stud. There's a little red stud right in the middle. Good night, totaled 9/11. Again, yeah, he stuck his tongue out. Send me a key to that game. You can send it on Steam or send me a friend invite on Steam, and I'll take a look at it for you. I never noticed it before, but its color is close enough to his tongue's. I too rebelled as a teen, but I never experimented with my appearance like that. God, Gabby. Seriously. I was too busy with my own suffering to draw and wanted attention to myself. I also painted my nails, like my brother does now, and I wore these cool earrings. It's certainly hard to believe. And I bet you hung out with the wrong crowd. Of course. I wish I could have seen Suzuki like that. Do you have any pictures from back then? Maybe. Care to show me? Ha! You don't believe me, do you? There's a lot more I can tell you about myself, stuff that nobody else knows. Just not today. Metnui! Yes! You actually have a computer again! Oh, that's good news. He winks. But now you know the truth. Senpai has made it clear that he's done talking about himself today. But I'm far too curious to let this go. Suppose you show me anyway. And more. You're too persistent today. I don't recognize you. People change. Besides, Milena made me mad. Ugh. We still have quite a bit left. Ah, well, we'll head up to our favorite place for a breather when we're done. I think... Did I get all the spots? Oh my god. Please tell me I didn't miss one. I remember trying to find this last freaking spot. It was a pain. Maybe one's upstairs. Oh my god, if you guys see a spot where I can put this damn poster, I'm missing one. You can't continue with the game until you put all the posters up. The main hall. Ah, there we go. Whew. Hopefully that's the last one. Oh, there's another one! Damn it! Oh wait, hold on. I think I see it. Yeah, this is the one I always miss. Is there any more? Come on. There we go. That's all. Whew. Finally done. We should head back to the roof. I'm sure Kaga and Subaru are waiting for us. Finally. I thought I was going to die of hunger. Are you going to buy a couple of buns before we head back? Of course. We stop off at the cafeteria and grab as many delicacies as we can carry. Are you sure you won't drop any of that? Well, I've got it. I try to respond with the melon bun in my mouth. Ooh, grilled cheese and cherry Pepsi. I'm so hungry that I pop one in my mouth to chew on as we walk. It's lightly sweetened with honey, and the bun's pleasant aroma tickles my nose, making me want to wolf it right down. That's a real art form you're practicing there, carrying so much food that you have to hold a bun in your mouth. Are you positive I can't hold anything? He takes the bun out of my mouth, softly rustling the packaging. It's still partially wrapped, so Suzuki doesn't get any on his hand. I was able to bite off part of the treat in the process and swallow it with great relish. Thanks. Now can you put it back? She's like, put it back in my mouth. What if you choke on it? But I'm so hungry, I can't wait. Fine, I'll feed it to you then. Okay, this could totally be taken out of context and be very bad. We stop for a moment and he brings the bun close to my mouth. Chomp. I don't hesitate to take another bite. Hunger often makes people do strange things. If it was any other time, I'd be ashamed of myself, but right now I'm starving. Suzuki walks alongside me as he attempts to not drop any of his goodies while feeding me by hand. You're like a bird. Subaru once compared me to a homeless kitten. I bet Senpai is comparing me to a wild duck or a pigeon. Do you really think so? Cuckoo. No, you're definitely not a pigeon. More like a small yet agile hummingbird collecting sweet nectar. Don't you mean sweet rolls? Why not? If trees started growing melon buns, do you not think hummingbirds would eat them? I'm sure it'd be their favorite flower. We continue to cheerfully talk about birds, even though our conversation verges on absurdity. It's fun. Just a few minutes ago I was incredibly angry, but not a trace of that remains. Suzuki is chatting away and feeding me. What could be better? Our two friends are already on the roof. They're sitting on the bench talking quietly with each other. At first they don't notice our presence and continue speaking in hushed tones. As they converse, the expressions on their faces change from neutral to displeased. Ah, there they are. Kaga sees us and waves. Yes. The day was exhausting, so I plopped down right next to them on the ground. Cool. My feet tingle and ache from doing so much running around today. I divvy up the treats, and they happily snap them up. Suzuki, how do you do this every single day? Running around, helping others, talking to all sorts of folk, planning and working? At the end of the day, how do you manage it all? I can't understand how anyone can live like this. Where does your energy come from? I can't imagine doing what he does, day in and day out. I would have died from exhaustion a long time ago. I'd really like to know the secret behind his limitless energy. I could certainly use some of it. Suzuki thinks about it for a bit, then answers. Kaga and Subaru must be lost in their own little world, as neither of them have said a word. They just close their eyes and listen in on our quiet conversation. Oh, it's going to go sideways. Actually, next chapter, I might have to have Hugo not actually be in the chat, because the next chapter is gonna be a little bit of saucy stuff in there. I will tell the girls when he needs to go away. And Gabby's all of a sudden getting excited, I'm sure. I'm surprised. Yes! Hugo can't watch the next chapter. I'm surprised it looks that way from the outside. I came to this university for the company. Yes, finally. But only found myself isolated, and I grew bored. Every day I studied, yet nothing of interest. All I did was draw. I was starting to regret enrolling here, but then... Wait, I don't know if his next chapter... The chapter where they actually go to the beach house, that's when it happens. No. Apparently living with 5 sisters has had an effect on me. Those furies drove me crazy day and night. I guess I'm immune to the usual hustle and bustle as a result. He's taken the conversation in a trivial direction, yet again, and has changed the tone of the discussion. Nisa is in the beach house. Although Milena thinks I'm her errand boy. And she keeps giving me more and more tasks that are more and more difficult, clearly hoping to set me up to fail so I have to repay her with my free time. Don't tell me you don't enjoy it. Kaga butts into our conversation with her barbed tongue. Milena isn't only popular for the size of her breasts. She's intelligent and has a great sense of humor, too. So don't talk about her like that. You're being a hypocrite. Besides, no one is forcing you to go to dinner and movies with her. Am I wrong? Suzuki nods. There is some truth to your words, but that's not entirely accurate. If you didn't treat women as a means to dispel your boredom, you might find that some of them are truly beautiful creatures. Damn, Kaga is like really laying into him right now. Images of nymphs begin to run through my head. No, it's hard imagining Milena as a fairy. Her attire definitely doesn't fit one. I catch myself feeling jealous and try to dispel the sentiment. While I internally reproach myself, Kaga and Suzuki continue talking. Are you angry at me, Kaga? You're being quite blunt, and it makes my heart ache. Of course I am, but I'm being serious here. If you would only consider the possibility of a relationship with anyone other than yourself, I know you'd be happier. You wouldn't have to run from reality anymore, and you'd be able to easily turn down women who would only be wasting your time. Kaga's last statement gives Suzuki pause, and there's an awkward silence. My god, this is like sitting in on a psychiatric session. Subaru finally decides to open his mouth. Kaga, you're no psychiatrist. Why are you psychoanalyzing Mr. All-in-One-Day like one? Of course you think I'm trying to brainwash him, but I'm only trying to help. Subaru seems to have drawn the girl's attention away from Senpai. I can't say that I never thought about it that way, but... Damn, I think I forgot something. Suzuki sighs sadly, stands up, and heads for the exit. Hey, where are you going? Suzuki changes his expression, then lowers his voice. Sorry. I need to finish something up. These papers can't wait. Hey! I think Kaga was trying to drop a hint to him about me, but it didn't work. Whatever just happened was heavy-handed and careless. Such conversations need to be handled gently and with finesse, otherwise one risks hurting the receiving party, thus causing even more grievous harm. I hope you don't try psychoanalyzing me now. I don't need your talents. Subaru stands up and follows behind Suzuki, mumbling something about needing some peace and quiet. Frustrated, Kaga slams her fist on the bench. Damn it! It's a conspiracy! Both of them! I'll find them and I'll kill them! I'll personally strangle them both! We had an agreement! I have fireworks! Those bastards! The girl crosses her arms and angrily glares at me. This is when you leave too, isn't it? Brutus. No. After a few moments of brooding, Kaga slowly exhales and laughs. Sorry, Teru, I might have been a little harsh with you. I couldn't get a word in edgewise during her conversation with Suzuki, which has me flustered and off base right now. Can't we set the fireworks off together? No, it's not a party if it's just two of us. It's been forever since the two of us have been alone together. I don't even know how to handle her tirades anymore. I remember our first year here. Kagari was digging through Subaru's workshop closet looking for a jar of rare blue paint. She had become interested in one of our creations, and then us. And she would stop in to see us almost every day, reprimanding me for my careless appearance. Torn t-shirts, disheveled hair, face and hands always splashed with paint. But she never scolded me. She only gave me beauty tips and advice on interacting with others. She took me to a beauty salon to cut my hair and brought me shopping for clothes. I was afraid of her and resisted change, but Kaga is a very stubborn girl. Once she sets her mind on something, she won't rest until she accomplishes her goal. Back then, I could not have foreseen how much life would change. I didn't want to see it. Kaga's attitude towards me was like nothing I'd ever experienced before, but we quickly found a common ground, and it became comfortable. But now? I don't know. I wonder if she's prepared a special place in hell for me, since I have yet to part with Subaru. I'm sure she hoped I would have created a I'm sure she would... God, I'm starting to stumble. I'm sure she hoped I would have created romantic memories with Suzuki, and she with Subaru, but fate has deemed it otherwise. I wonder if she has plans for our resident genius. Well, it doesn't matter, and I'm not asking her about it. Teru, we haven't spent time together like this in a long time. By the way, I saw your message on the board in the lobby. That was nice of you. Thank you. I left a response. Really? Thanks. I'm so glad that Kaga is still treating me normally, although a message on the board isn't proof of much. I'll take a look later. How are things with Subaru? What? Why would she ask that all of a sudden? A cold sweat comes over me. Remember, don't say a word about the night we spent together, although it's not like she doesn't already have 1,000 reasons to hate me. Things are fine. I don't know what to say. As usual. I've been meaning to ask you for a while now. Why haven't you told him that you didn't need to confess to him that day? Was it really a mistake? She approaches me and stares at me attentively, as if she was waiting for me to share some great secret with her. Well, I just couldn't. Brilliant answer, Teru. But she's staring at me so intensely. I just can't think of a logical reason why I never told him. How long are you going to play this game with him? She speaks softly, without a hint of malice in her voice. It seems her talent for psychoanalyzation is now being directed at me. Ugh. I'm going to tell him the truth. Soon. Very soon. You don't have to worry. I have no intention of keeping him to myself. The fact that I confessed to him and he suddenly responded, it was pure chance. If anything, he's the one who's playing games here. Naivety can be so convenient. Isn't that right, Teru? What are you talking about? I really do believe there was an ulterior motive behind him taking my chocolate. She dismissively waves her hand at me. Of course, everyone only thinks about what benefits them personally. Do you know something that I don't? No, it's nothing at all. I'm sure he just wanted to tease me, or you. Sometimes I wonder if you didn't plan this all yourself. My confession and everything that came from it. You knew perfectly well that you know perfectly well what Suzuki thought about me, and yet you convinced me to confess to him anyway. For a moment, Kaga opens her mouth as if she's speechless, but then emotionlessly responds. Forget about it. I shouldn't have said anything. You'll figure it out soon enough. How can I figure anything out? We just started talking about this, and she's already done with the conversation. But know this, I won't wait much longer. And if you decide to stay with Subaru, it'll be the most reprehensible thing you could ever do. And I won't stand for it. Kaga gives me the most angelic expression she can muster. She certainly knows how to say incredibly threatening things while looking completely innocent. It's almost creepy. Okay then. This is very strange. It seems Kaga understands everything that's happening between me and Subaru. At least enough to tell Subaru what's really going on, although I suspect he's already aware of it himself. But why hasn't Senpai pushed me away yet? It's like everyone is just standing around waiting for something to happen. And here I am, unable to tell anyone how I truly feel. And so no one does anything. We simply continue locking our feelings away within our hearts, unwilling to release them and destroy the bonds of friendship that connect us all. But I started this, so I have to finish it. I should never have mixed friendship with love. What a disaster this is. I want to blame Kaga for convincing me to confess to Senpai as soon as possible, and for not helping me when I finally did, but this is all on me. I wish I could turn back time. I must have talked to Kaga longer than I thought I did. Most of the students have already dispersed, and the hallways have gone quiet. It's a week-long festival, so everyone has enough time to do whatever they want. But by about 5 in the evening, mostly everyone has already gone home. Our education doesn't take a break for the festivities. In addition to our festival duties, we still have our regular homework. We're given less of it, but still. You would think, why is she sticking with this relationship still? Why should I study right now? I decide to wander the hallways a little more. If the guys haven't left yet, I'm sure I'll find one of them. Senpai is probably in the student council office, and Subaru is likely in his workshop. We're gonna go for Suzuki. And no, go up. Okay. I'm getting so many cheers today, you guys. Thanks, son. Hoping that Suzuki hasn't left yet, I wander into the student council room. A light is still on in the office. Yeah, Subaru is boring. Believe me, he's boring. Well, I like his route, but yeah, Suzuki's better. Is he gone already? What a shame. I'm about to leave, but I hear a sniffle come from one of the desks. Eh? Drawing closer, I see Suzuki. How can you sleep here in that position? He's practically sitting on the floor, hugging a chair, scattered papers all around him. I wonder how long he's been like this. I examine the papers. It seems all of them have already been reviewed and signed. I don't think I've ever known Suzuki to collapse from fatigue. Of course, we spent many a late night together watching television shows, but everyone always retired comfortably to their own beds. He wasn't sniffing the chairs like a pervert. Seeing his sleeping face right now, I want to touch his hair, but first, I take my phone out of my pocket and snap a couple of pictures. Oh yeah, that's great. It's a good thing I keep my phone in silent mode. Nice. Now I have exclusive photos. Trying not to make a sound, I move closer and crouch down next to him. He's sleeping so soundly. I'm almost envious. Should I lie next to him too? Really, Teru. I lightly touch his hair, gently running my hand over it. Soft, blonde, and slightly curly. It's as if I'm petting a sleeping lamb. I'll just sit here a little longer before interrupting whatever dreams he's having right now. I wonder if he often sleeps like this. If so, I should probably lecture him about the dangers of sleeping in places he shouldn't, although I doubt it would do much good. But it's worth a try. Maybe his secret is that he knows how to quickly fall asleep and wake up at the drop of a hat. That would certainly be a convenient skill to have. 1 second he's asleep, the next second he's awake and full of energy. She is being a little creepy, isn't she? I can't imagine falling asleep like that, and it'd be even more difficult waking me up. I'm so jealous. I watch Suzuki sleep, and he looks like the most innocent angel in the entire world. But I know that when he opens his eyes, that halo of innocence will immediately disappear. I should wake him up. I gently poke a finger at his cheek and draw a line down it, but he doesn't react at all. Ugh. Senpai, wake up. I poke him again, more firmly this time. He's drooling. Oh yeah, that's attractive. Teru. Subaru opens his eyes, slowly grabs my hand, and moves it away from his cheek. He doesn't appear to be fully awake yet, and mumbles something beneath his breath. I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't understand. Every day, I paint. I hate boring. But a girl, awkward, sweet, Amaterasu. Again, he slowly stretches out my full name, and it sounds so dreamy. My world is full of color, but I hate it so much. Damn it. Having uttered these last words, he abruptly rouses himself and is suddenly fully awake. Surprised by this, I slightly lose my balance and almost tumble to the floor. Why are you here? I found you sleeping here. Was I talking in my sleep? I hope I didn't say anything I shouldn't have. You were, but I'm sure it was nothing. Still, the words he spoke as he dreamed, they give me hope. Was your dream interesting? Yeah. I dreamed that it was several years ago, and that I was being forced to watch over 2 younger students. One of them was always getting into fights, and the other had trouble socializing with others. Meh. I know those students are supposed to be Subaru and me. Senpai would visit us in the workshop. As a member of the student council, he was assigned to review our work, although it was really just an excuse for him to keep an eye on us. Frankly, the dean considered us problem students, and he didn't want us going unsupervised. Suzuki offered us valuable advice and brightened up our monotonous work with his jokes and news about the other students and the university's affairs. Damn, you caught me sleeping on my butt. His exclamation interrupts my thoughts. I'm not a basket of boundless energy in your eyes anymore, now am I? This is how legends die. No, I still admire you. Really? Well then, I can die in peace. He closes his eyes and collapses back onto the chair. Hey! I try shaking his shoulders. Get up, it's late. I don't want to. Why don't you lie down here with me? It's cool here. He then rubs his cheek against the seat of the chair. I'd love nothing more than to lie down next to you right now, but it isn't healthy to sleep on the cold floor. Okay, fine, I'll wake up. Can you just give me a minute and maybe bring me a cup of coffee, please? How many cups of coffee have you had today? 3? I squint at him skeptically. Okay, 5. No more black potion for you. Darn it! You're supposed to support me. Closing his eyes, he sighs. No, I can't. Senpai! I can't just leave him here like this. And if he doesn't wake up soon, I'll miss my train and I'll have to call a taxi or spend the night at the train station. Or go to Subaru's apartment, which would be better than spending the night in a dirty station, but... Moving closer to Senpai's ear, I scream loudly. Suzuki! Startled, he pulls back from the chair. He's still sitting on the floor, but at least he's awake now. Slightly disheveled, Suzuki loosens his tie and reluctantly rises to his feet. Teru? I thought you were Kaga this entire time. Nice. If that's the case, then let me invoke some of her common sense. You were a fool for sleeping on that cold floor. Was that good? Yes, yes. He groggily places his hand on the top of my head and rubs my hair, then lowers it to my shoulder, and then up to my face, which he tenderly caresses with his thumb. Oh boy. What would I ever do without you? He looks straight into my eyes, and then leans towards me. Is he really going to? Oh boy. My heart is racing, while my brain screams at me to push him away that I already have a boyfriend, and my legs have turned to stone. Suzuki lightly grazes my cheek with his lips. Oh my god. OMG, what is happening? He repeats these fleeting kisses a few more times until he's almost reached my lips, but suddenly stops. Teru, you should be hitting me or pushing me away, running away from me in the very least. Yes, I know. I've never had Senpai initiate a kiss like this before, and so I can't bring myself to pull away from him. Although I want to, but my body won't listen to me. It seems the spirit is willing, but the flesh really is weak. If you continue to be so pliable, I might be inclined to do something that others may not like. Something that both of us will regret. And I'd kick you in the pants if you crossed that line. Haven't I already? Yes, whatever this is between us, it's far beyond friendship. What's more, I'm practically a married woman now. Never before has he been so forward with me. Okay, hold on a second. She's just dating a guy that she doesn't even really want to date, and she's calling herself a fucking married woman. No. Did Kaga's words really affect him that much? Let's just consider it payback for making you deaf in that one ear. I just hope Suzuki doesn't say anything that'll trample my heart into the dirt. I won't survive it again. I'll end up closing myself off to the world again. His gentle demeanor has thrown me off balance, and this is also confusing. My heart is too anxious to respond rationally right now. So, I'll call him when I'm ready to talk about things, when I have the ability to reject him if I need to, but later. As for now, I want to relish this moment. Suzuki smiles. Okay, let us assume that. Realizing that I'm almost late for the train, Suzuki grabs my hand and runs. Fortunately, I'm not late. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, at a certain point in here, Hugo is going to have to go away. And I will tell you guys when that is, because this is when stuff gets steamy. Despite the slightly tense atmosphere and the monotony of the work that was entrusted to us, we gave our all in preparing for the art festival. The event itself was a raging success. And our work went over amazingly well. Without all of our efforts, the delegates would have certainly had trouble navigating our confusing university. Wandering aimlessly through its corridors without any direction isn't fun in the least. But the best news is that one of the university's sponsors has promised to recommend us for internships with a graphic design firm that's looking for young and creative talent. Still, the first day of the festival had me sweating bullets. Bye, Hugo. I'll talk to you later. Fortunately, Suzuki and I were able to get all the student council posters hung in time. I hadn't paid much attention to what was written on them at the time, but it seems they were the festival rules of conduct. Without them posted, the event would have been total chaos. I know, right? I don't know why she hasn't either. Anyhow, as a result of our last-minute rushing around, I ended up missing the opening ceremony. But we took full advantage of the remaining days of the festival. We explored all of the classrooms while examining the other students' artwork. Kaga was enthralled by the photography exhibit, which was organized by a group of designers. And Senpai. He spent the entire time running all over the place doing that minx Melina's bidding. He didn't even have time to check out any of the exhibits. I would like to continue my conversation with Senpai at some point. Well, not just our conversation. What did he mean when he said he could do something that we could both regret? What do you think he fucking meant, okay? He's a fucking playboy. Are you coming? Yes. Get your head out of the clouds. Subaru seems to be upset about something. We have fun together and communicate well, but there are times when things are pretty strained between us. I'm solving humanity's problems here. Who are you to say where I should or shouldn't be thinking about mankind's plight? Psh! He smiles mischievously and gestures for me to come inside. After the festival, the students were given a week off of class, although we were to continue studying at home. I wonder if the dean realizes that our home study will end up being one sleepless night before we head back to class the following day. As a thank you for all of our help, Suzuki invited us out to his family's beach house. His family is fairly well off, and they own several guest houses throughout the countryside, although this is the first time we've ever been to one. Last year, his eldest sister invited us to stay at her townhouse, which is twice as big as this, and built in the modern style. Anyhow, I was hoping to use this trip as an opportunity to improve my relationship with Kaga, and to keep an eye on the boys. I need to know what they think about me. Besides, if things continue on like this, it'll only get worse for Kaga and I won't allow our friendship to crumble. We set our luggage down in the spacious living room, which isn't quite as clean as I had expected it to be. A thick layer of dust covers everything, and there are rags and junk littered all over the place. The clean freak in me wants to immediately begin tidying up, to brush away the layers of dust, and to properly scrub the floor, but Suzuki didn't bring us here to clean, did he? There are dishes on the table. Urgh! I hope they're not dirty and covered in mold. Exactly, if she would just break up with Subaru, Kaga would be completely happy. Despite the mess, the room is well lit and smells fresh. It seems the potted orange tree that decorates a corner is filling the air with a citrusy aroma. Fair warning, they are not edible. Everyone nods. Well, no, the oranges are indeed edible. They're just not tasty. So, if you're really curious, you may eat one. But you do so at your own risk. He makes the most threatening face. And I am not taking the blame for anyone's indigestion. Yeah, we know. You need to work on your serious demeanor, Suzuki. Oranges are quite difficult to care for, and there's rarely anyone here to tend to them. Does anyone look after it? Wow. The moment I start talking about plants, someone turns into a worried mother. Well, don't worry. It is well tended. It will live. Subaru shrugs his shoulders and walks over to the tree. He studies its leaves and pokes at one of the oranges. Okay, I'm convinced. First, let's get settled into our rooms, shall we? He claps his hands and winks. Oh, none of you have been here before. So, there are 3 bedrooms upstairs, and this here living room. Since we have a couple, he shoots Subaru and me a mischievous glance. I'm sure you'll have no problem sharing a room together. Although I hope you both keep it down in there. Kaga and I will each take one of the other 2 bed chambers. Kaga stiffens and stares at me. And I freeze. Senpai either conspired with Subaru or he's a fool. Suzuki, I never thought you'd throw me under the bus like this. I never thought. And why did I think that Senpai wouldn't try pushing me and Subaru together? I'm too naive. If he really had feelings for me, he wouldn't be encouraging this situation. He would have already confessed his love to me my first year here. Well? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I forcefully blurt out my rejection. Kaga relaxes, and Subaru quickly turns away. I think I might have hurt his feelings. But if we sleep in the same room, I won't be able to spend as much time with Senpai. Yeah, and who knows what my boyfriend might do when we're alone. I'm here to hang out with friends, not do whatever it is Suzuki's suggesting. Subaru leans back on the couch and props his chin up with his hand, pretending to look bored. Besides, if I did anything to our innocent little maiden, it wouldn't be under such conditions. Why is he talking about me like that, as if I wasn't here, acting like he's all experienced and I'm a naive fool? All he ever does is sit in his workshop, and he rarely goes out anywhere. And as far as I know, despite his popularity, I'm the only girlfriend he's ever had. I stare at him dubiously. That disgruntled expression and rude attitude of his scares all of the girls away. Sometimes I wonder if he even likes women at all. That's right. A girl's first time shouldn't be in such a place. Kaga nods approvingly. And the guys fall quiet as my cheeks burn. Kaga? I want to kill that insufferable woman. I see Subaru already has it all planned out. Yeah, of course I do. My first time here. Tonight? I can't even think about it. Everyone would know what we're doing upstairs in that bedroom. It would be humiliating. Silence. Still, a couple's relationship is a very personal matter, and it's unpleasant when others poke their noses into our affairs, although we're not really a couple. Senpai decides to interrupt the awkward silence. Oh, by the way, this is a guest house, so there are separate beds in that room. Maybe I was getting ahead of myself in having you share it. We came here to relax as a group. I agree. Why do we all have to sleep in separate rooms? We can bring the mattresses downstairs and camp out on the living room floor if you'd like. Yes, and if we only use one room, we won't have to spend our precious time tidying up all the others. Suzuki winks. Wait a minute. Was it really necessary to antagonize me like that? Is he testing me? Damn it! It feels like I'm walking on thin ice here, and if I take one wrong step, I'll plunge right through. I knew you invited us here for a reason. You were just looking for free labor, weren't you? Ha! You got me. This beach house is normally cleaned by a hired maid, but she's on vacation. There's a bit of dust and a few leftover rags from the last time it had visitors. My parents must have left in a hurry. You know how it is. When you're running late for a flight, nothing else matters. You get there at any cost. Anyhow, if we only use this room, then we only need to prepare this area for our stay. Unless you don't want to tidy up. We can certainly live like this. Only I get the couch. I don't want any cockroaches crawling up my shirt. Suzuki thrusts his hand out towards Kaga's stomach and wiggles his fingers like insects. Okay. Kaga's eyes widen and she jumps away. She has never liked bugs. Or any living creature, for that matter, other than humans. Anything from cats and dogs to flies and ants. She can't stand them. Kaga plops down on the couch next to Subaru, which had long been occupied by him, and scoots a little closer. He seems oblivious to what's happening right now next to him. The abundance of dust that Kaga kicked up doesn't appear to bother him either. Okay, so the CG isn't the greatest. Let's take a selfie. Hey! Subaru doesn't like taking pictures, but Kaga is emphatic about it. She immediately tosses her arm around him and clicks her smartphone. Hey, Kaga, stop it! Subaru bounces up and shakes himself off as if he's covered in mud. Cool. Now I can upload this to my blog. She begins to quickly type up a post while generously sprinkling in emoticons. Clearly, everyone in the university needs to know how Kaga is spending her vacation, and brood enviously over it. Kaga's blog is rather popular. I guess natural beauty and communication skills are the secret to success. She has a lot of followers, and I'm sure she can make money off of it, but she doesn't want to turn her hobby into a job. Kaga, delete it now! Kaga! No way! That picture will be another excuse for those adorable girls to discuss my rude attitude. I'm tired of having to reject them all the time. But it's a photo with me. They'll think you're too busy to be bothered with. Oh, there are kitties? He's probably crying in the background. Kaga sticks out her tongue, then returns to staring at her phone as she frantically types with a contented grin on her face. How should I caption it? Holiday in the Bahamas, lounging in paradise with my beloved. And a heart. Kaga! Subaru tries grabbing her phone, but she deftly avoids him. Subaru doesn't do social networking. He doesn't even have a smartphone. He uses a laptop at home for emails and instant messaging, and that's it. Truly, he is the least public person I know. Grabbing me by the sleeve, Suzuki pulls me behind the couch and wraps his arm around my waist. Kaga, hurry! Take another one before the grouch comes to his senses. Senpai and I move in close for the group shot, and Kaga clicks away. Hey! Will you stop it already? Leaning over to the disgruntled Subaru, I poke a finger at his cheek. Stop being such a grump. Everyone laughs merrily. Ultimately, we all decide to camp out together downstairs since it's spacious enough for all of us. Subaru and I will grab the mattresses. You girls can begin cleaning this heavenly abode. He hands us a couple of rags. Great. I'll dust, carefully, so I don't get dirty. Although I should probably change first. And I'll straighten up some. It should go faster this way. If you find any spiders, they're all yours. Alright, I gotta clean shit up here. Oh, he's gonna probably get it again. Oh my, I don't even remember. There's a lot of, this place is fucking trashed. Yeah, this chapter, there's what I consider to be the steamiest scene in the entire visual novel. So, except for the end, except for the except for the threesome ending. There is a threesome ending in this, so just letting you guys know, but we're not getting it. What is this last spot? There's a towel. Oh, there we go. Alright. Yes! But we're not getting that, okay, you guys? We're not getting that ending. I can't. It's too late. It's too late to get it. Because I have to basically... Okay, I'm just gonna skip this. And done. This place is finally livable again. And the room radiates cleanliness. The next time Suzuki offers to take us anywhere, we need to find out where we're going first. I don't want to end up at a labor camp. I couldn't find that last one, and it was going to take forever to finish that up. Coming through. The guys carry in 4 of the mattresses, and I lay them out on the floor in a circle, as if they were surrounding a campfire. Suzuki, I hope the bathroom is suitable for use. Yes, there are no spiders. It's on the 2nd floor. First, what are you waiting for? Come on. Kaga drags him upstairs. Show me where it is. She's so eager to freshen up that she doesn't seem to care about anyone else. No, there's not a foursome ending, okay? That's a woman for you. Yeah, Kaga's isn't a very happy camper in the threesome ending, I'm just saying. Everyone packed a small bag except for Subaru. One would think that Kaga would have brought the biggest bag, being a woman and all. And as a woman who carefully looks after herself, she would have certainly brought several different outfits along with her. But no, she's quite practical and only packs the bare minimum. And yet this overgrown child packed twice as much as I did. Why do you need so much stuff? Subaru sits on a mattress while sorting through his things, laying them out side by side. Slowly, a uniform heap of trash forms around him. Well? Undistracted, he crawls into his bag as if looking for something specific. He pulls out pencils, crayons, sketchbooks, crumpled sheets of paper, used tickets, and broken pens. Basically the sort of garbage that gradually accumulates in one's bag if one doesn't clean it out regularly. He could save himself the trouble of hauling around a few extra pounds if he didn't have all of that extra junk in there. He even pulls out a small folding easel. We came here to relax. Yeah? So I only brought my drawing materials with me, no homework. As you can see, there's not a single textbook here. You should be thanking me for not bringing my assignments, otherwise I'd be sitting here working on them the entire time. No, thank you. The day before we go back to class, I plan on staying up all night working on mine. It'd be silly to spend our entire vacation studying. Well, there are advantages to finishing your homework early. Yeah, but who cares? I wave my hand at him, and Subaru simply nods. That man, he's a bloody genius. When it comes to artistic skill and creative motivation, we are nowhere close to him. He's even a step ahead of us when it comes to self-organization. Sometimes he reminds me of a robot, able to handle the most difficult tasks. But, of course, he isn't a machine. It's just that this man knows exactly what he wants out of life, and not everyone is fortunate enough to be so confident in their goals. I want to draw a wild fern that only grows in areas like these. Are you a botanist or an artist? Jumping from out of nowhere, Suzuki lands right next to Subaru. I could have sworn that he wasn't there just a moment ago, and now here he is. Have you finished going through your own stuff yet? Did you forget anything? I don't usually pack a bunch of drawing materials just to spend hours sorting through them. You're really not one for taking hints, are you? Since you seem to be oblivious. Back off and stop pestering me. Suzuki laughs. He knows that Subaru was angry at us for taking that group photo, and he isn't bothered by his surly attitude. Well, we came here to relax, and you took your entire workshop with you. Why do you need all of that stuff? I already told Teru just a minute ago. Suzuki scrunches up his face and lies back on one of the mattresses, hands behind his head as if he was already sunbathing. Well, hurry up. Everyone is waiting on you to head to the beach. I'm not interested in the beach, or any of life's other joys. Just tell me where I can find that fern. That. Well, Suzuki yawns and ponders earnestly, as if he was putting together the pieces of an invisible puzzle in his mind. You see, there aren't any here. What? Dropping the brushes he'd been holding, Subaru clenches his hands into fists. How are there none? Well, Suzuki shrugs. I might have lied to you. You did what? I lied. If I hadn't, you would not have agreed to come with us, and would have stayed at home painting cherry blossoms. And it is, so lonely without you. So very lonely. With his finger, he draws a tear falling from his eye. Suzuki, you know what I'm going to do to you now, don't you? Subaru grabs Suzuki by the collar and glares at him with murderous intent. Why the hell would I come all the way out here if there's nothing but sand and water? At least you're here. You see me at the university almost every single day. Well, what about your rest? I'm not tired. Subaru, you can draw the sea instead. The sunset on the horizon is beautiful. He shoots me a stern look. Subaru certainly knows how to get people to shut up. One might say it's a superpower. Fine, I give up. You can paint your flowers, but only for a little while. You must rest. If you do not want to upset me, Kaga, and Teru. Do not forget, you're not alone here. The thought never left my mind. Well, at least try not to spoil our time together with that sour face of yours. Subaru ponders a moment, then nods. Good. Now I will let you in on a little secret. Not far from here is a beautiful meadow with a flowering bush nestled inside. I am certain you'll know what type of bush it is. You have 3 seconds to tell me where it is. 1 moment. Suzuki grabs the first pencil and paper he can find and quickly sketches out a map to the meadow's location. Take a left from the beach house, then 2 rights, go straight ahead to the tree stump, and you're there. Subaru snatches the paper from Suzuki, quickly stuffs it into his bag, gets up, and heads for the door. Then, as if coming to his senses, he turns back around, kisses me on the forehead, and disappears through the door. I blush and place my hand against my brow, as if trying to hide the invisible mark left by his lips. Don't do that in front of people. That's Subaru for you. Suzuki falls back onto the mattress again. He runs off all by himself without even thinking about his pretty girlfriend. Senpai reaches his hand out to me and curls a lock of my hair around his finger. You have soft hair, Amaterasu. The way he gently says my full name, which I rarely ever use, it sends goosebumps running across my body. Kaga walks into the room. She took a shower and changed into an incredibly stylish red swimsuit. Gosh, she's so gorgeous. For a moment, I almost forget about our little quarrel. Off to the beach? Kaga runs her hand through her hair and winks. Where did Subaru go? That's a long story. My boyfriend is now long out of sight. We're gonna go to the beach. Well, he's like a child, and I'm not running after him like I'm his babysitter. I'm sure he'll come back after he's found something interesting to draw. When he's done practicing. Annoyed, I snort. Come on. Wait, where's Subaru? Gone? But he promised to come back. Suzuki shrugs and Kaga huffs and frowns. It's always the same with him. Kaga studies Suzuki from head to toe, then turns to me. Teru. I feel my friend's murderous eyes upon me. What did I do this time? So, Suzuki, why don't you head on out to the beach and begin setting everything up? Teruchi and I will catch up with you in a few minutes. She hands Senpai a bag filled with beach paraphernalia, then shoves him toward the door. What? Ladies talk? Kaga shoots Suzuki daggers, and he quickly shuts up. We'll be quick. Then Kaga shuts the door right on Suzuki's nose. Teru. What? Look at you! I look at myself. I don't see anything wrong. What? She grabs my ear. Listen, we are at the beach. Where's your swimsuit? Oh, that. I wasn't planning on swimming, so I didn't bring one. You had me worried there. I thought there was something seriously wrong with me, like I'd grown a third leg or something. Teru, we've put so much work into your figure and you're still shy about it? I hesitate. I don't want to say it, but it's embarrassing walking around the beach half naked, and I don't care if it's only my friends who see me. She begins rummaging through her luggage, pulling out various items. The pile on the table is getting bigger and bigger. I'm surprised at how much junk can fit into that bag. It's like a clown car in there. Here, found it. Triumphantly, she hands me 2 pieces of fabric, and I hold them out to take a better look at them. 3 triangles held together by a bit of string. Who wears this in public? Well, I do. Put it on. It should fit you perfectly, and it matches your hair color. Oh, for crying out loud. How can it match my hair color when it's just a few strings with a bit of fabric? Kaga's face twists with disgust, as if she'd just seen a piece of dog poop sitting right next to her. Put it on! You're not getting Suzuki's attention wearing that baggy shirt. Suzuki? So I'm supposed to charm Suzuki with this? For a second, I actually consider it, and again look at the 3 minuscule pieces of green fabric that I'm holding in my hand. No, under no circumstances will I wear whatever this is. Absolutely not. Kaga sighs. You? Teru, with all of your complexities and modesty, you're as stubborn as a mule. I know. I shrug my shoulders and shake my head triumphantly. But you're certainly lucky that your girlfriend brought another swimsuit along, and she's willing to share it with you. Kaga pulls a black swimsuit out of her bag. I thought she only packed what she thought was absolutely necessary, and yet she has not 1, but 3 bathing suits with her. Although if these strips of cloth can be considered a bathing suit, she could carry at least a dozen with her. I take the second swimsuit from Kaga and begin to examine it. This is acceptable, especially compared to... What do you mean it's acceptable? That is a fashionable piece of swimwear. Now hurry up and put it on. This time I obey Kaga's demands and change into the swimsuit. Yeah, it's a little tight. I spin around in front of the mirror. It's embarrassing enough just looking at myself wearing this thing, but I'm supposed to walk around in front of the guys with it on? I wish I could just fall through the floor right now. Everyone always says that you should love yourself just the way you are, and I've tried taking that to heart, repeating it over to myself every single morning, but it's easier said than done, especially for someone who's had low self-esteem her entire life. But I'm slowly getting there. I just have to keep forcing my thoughts in a more positive direction. This isn't good. My friend's verdict feels like a shot to the heart, and I break into a cold sweat. I knew it would have been better for me to shroud myself in robes for the rest of my life, so I won't frighten people with my hideous appearance. Your chest has gotten bigger. Oh god, it has. I shyly lower my eyes to the floor. With how many sweets she eats, no wonder. Wait, is that really a bad thing? Be honest with me, Teru. Kaga draws closer. Are you eating something that makes them grow bigger? Oh god. Now I'm even more embarrassed. I swear, she always asks the most uncomfortable questions. Are you teasing me again? I didn't do anything. They got this big on their own. Kaga laughs and pats me on the head. You've changed a lot since we first met. Sometimes even I envy your determination and perseverance. Hey, why are you upset? If someone just told you this isn't good, you would be upset too. I cross my arms and pout. Okay, I admit the swimsuit is too small on you and might pop open. She shrugs. And I don't have another one. Kaga shakes her head in frustration. But I think you'll be okay. Just hold it right there. Or it might unfasten. She giggles haughtily, covering her mouth with one hand, like a dignified lady at a ball, hiding her smile behind a feathered fan. Oh ho ho ho. And Senpai sees your carefully grown melons in all their glory. Kaga! Okay, let's go. And don't you dare think about covering up with a t-shirt. I abruptly pull my hand back, which had already been reaching for a shirt lying on the sofa. And if you try changing back into those rags, I'll undress you myself and force that green bikini on you. I'm sure you guys would like to watch that. What? And traipse about while wearing barely anything at all? Right, yes. Right into Senpai's loving embrace. Ugh, sometimes she scares me. Kaga disappears through the door, leaving me alone. We better hurry. I follow Kaga to the beach. Yes, I listened to her and didn't take anything with me. I carefully squeezed through the bushes in just my bathing suit and sandals. This is so humiliating. I feel like I'm walking around in my underwear, although it would have been much worse if I had agreed to wear those strings Kaga tried forcing on me. The swimsuit is a bit snug in a few places, but otherwise fits well enough. At least it doesn't unfasten as I walk, so I can move freely. Oh, Teru. Oh god. There you guys go. He's wearing a Speedo. I thought you had gotten lost. Distracted from lacing up the volleyball net, Suzuki waves at me. How can I help? No, I think it's more of a 8-pack than a 6-pack, which I don't think is physically possible. Still, it's inconvenient walking around without a jacket on. I don't know where to put my hands, so I just hold them in front of me, playing with my fingers. Oh, so you decided to come swimming with us. Well, good. We already have one sourpuss who's always running off on his own. We don't need another. Suzuki looks me over, then bows his head. Teru, you look amazing. You have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. I instantly flushed bright red. I'm sure that he, like Kaga, must be referring to my outstanding assets. Thanks. His compliment makes me want to dig a hole and jump into it, hiding away with the moles. Teru. Kaga flies up to me and grabs my arm, then tosses a small camera to Suzuki, who deftly catches it. Suzuki, photos. Ah, fuck. Why is the phone ringing now? He clicks a couple of times. Hey. These two are always looking for opportunities to take pictures. Kaga is obsessive about it. Not that I have anything against them. Photographs can help rekindle faded memories, but the number of them she takes is silly. When something is done in excess, it slowly loses its value as it becomes commonplace. She changes poses a few times as Suzuki continues snapping away. Once we're finished, Kaga excitedly runs over and snatches the camera away from Senpai to check out the new images. Thanks! She winks at Suzuki. Now we have pictures with a nearly naked Amaterasu. I'll have to print them out and pin them to the information board at the university. Hey! I cross my arms over my chest and pucker my lips. Why do you always have to start gossip, Kaga? If I don't, someone else will. People need something to talk about. We might as well give it to them. Now it's your turn. She literally pushes me into Senpai, who manages to catch me by the waist, preventing another tragic fall. He stands behind me and hugs me around the chest. It's so sudden that I'm unable to do anything to prevent it from happening. Kaga, shoot! Zuru will regret not coming with us. How else would I get the opportunity to cuddle Teru like this? Kaga presses the snapshot button a couple of times. Click, click. Done. Our genius artist will have a stroke if he sees those pictures. Hey! Well, it's his own fault for running off on us. Great. Now they're talking like I'm not even here. You said the swimsuit was like outerwear, only for the summer. Well, I lied, and it was for your own good. She laughs out loud. But now you can come swimming with us. Okay. Since everyone is busy with their own things and no one needs my help, I decide to relax a bit. Thankfully, there are comfortable beach chairs nearby. With my eyes closed, I lie back on a white chaise and savor the sun's warmth as its rays wash over me. And I think back to my first holiday with the guys. I didn't know how to swim at the time and was afraid to go into the water. And I was so shy about my appearance that I wore a big t-shirt when I did. Kaga wasn't able to get me into a swimsuit back then, even though she'd bought one just for me. But she did manage to get me to trim my long bangs, which I'd never cut shorter than my nose. Walking around with bangs that long wasn't very convenient, but it was comfortable for me, since no one was able to see my face. I grimace. Still, I can't believe she did that. She had been pestering me to cut my hair for close to 6 months at that point, and I didn't expect her to go so far as to bring scissors with her to the beach. When I had dozed off while sunbathing, she snipped them off. I refused to leave my room for a full 24 hours after that, and only left when Senpai loaned me his sunglasses. For the following 2 days, I walked around dressed like a punk, wearing a black rock band t-shirt, knee-length shorts, and huge sunglasses. All I was missing was a thick cigar and a black fedora. There is a picture of it somewhere, but I don't like looking at pictures of myself from back then. I'm sure I looked funny, though. This is wonderful. I wonder if I should find Subaru with his flowers and make him appreciate this heat. Do you want to drink something? Suzuki appears from out of nowhere with 2 glasses of an unusual-looking concoction in his hands. Lemon slices, mint, and ice, and something else green. It isn't alcoholic, is it? Well, even if it is, it wouldn't be enough to get me drunk. Is that cucumber? Of course. What could be more refreshing in this heat than cucumber and mint? I shrug. Less heat? Here. He hands me a slightly misted glass, and I take a sip. This is good. This is really good. A refreshing beverage literally invigorates my body. Wow. Suzuki is always so gallant and polite. He knows exactly what a girl wants even before she asks for it, and I love that about him. Although it would be better if he wasn't quite so friendly with every girl he meets. Women's hearts are easily misled, and they might misunderstand his intentions. Even I get confused by his attitude at times. Really, this is delicious. I told you. He swallows his drink in almost a single gulp and places the empty glass on a table. Blissfully, I lean back on my chaise and sip from my glass with eyes closed. The rest of the world can wait. Although I should probably talk to Kaga, come up with some sort of a plan. But it seems like she's doing well enough on her own. Every opportunity she has to be with Subaru, she's with him, and she doesn't allow him to spend any time alone with me. It's okay, this is getting close to the good stuff, Gabby. Just hang in there. It's a Saturday night. Just hang in there. I even thought that she might have confessed to him, but when I asked her about it, she just shrugged, making it clear she didn't want to talk about it. Honestly, there are far too many misunderstandings between all of us, too many unspoken feelings. This is getting... Are you just going to lie there all day? Alright, as soon as we get done with that scene, and it's coming up really, really soon, we'll take a break and we'll finish this Monday. Suzuki crouches down next to me, and I am right in front of my face. He's only wearing his swimming trunks, and I can see the hard muscles on his stomach, the sleek curves of his arms. For a second, I want to touch them. This must be what it's like to be attracted to a man's body. I never really understood before why women would so excitedly discuss a guy's tush. But now, I can see how seductive a man's body can be. Wait, what am I thinking? Well... Everyone has left. Wouldn't you like to do something more interesting than just wallowing in the sun here? Everyone left? Wasn't Kaga just here? She went back to the guest house about 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes? Did I really doze off? He shrugs and leans in even closer. His face is so close, like he's about to kiss me. Not so close. I might misunderstand and experience a moment of temporary insanity. But I have a boyfriend, even though it isn't your regular boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Still, I'm not like those girls that Suzuki spends his time with. I would like to think that he treats me differently than he treats them. Well, shall we do something? Sweat drops roll down his forehead. What does he mean by do something? I'm game as long as it's within reason. I take one last sip of my drink, put the glass aside, and nod almost imperceptibly. Excellent. I knew you weren't the type to waste your weekend just laying about. I propose we play a little ball, out in the water. Suddenly, Suzuki pulls out a brightly painted volleyball, which looks to have been signed by several people. I wonder if last year's graduates gave it to him. Considering how forgetful he is and his general attitude towards materialism, I'm surprised he kept it. Did those women really mean so much to him? How about it? Yes, let's go. I can't deny it. I'm disappointed. He could have kissed me, or hugged me, or... Oh, here I am dreaming again. Senpai drags me into the water with him. It's more fun in the water. Besides, you won't have to be so shy and can loosen up a little bit. Thank you. He really does know me incredibly well. Even better than I know myself, it seems. It's true. I would probably be stiff and anxious playing on the beach. To make things a little more interesting, and to add some excitement to the game, I suggest that we play for a wish. A wish? Yes. The loser must grant the winner one wish. Do you accept? Do I have a choice? I serve the ball and the game begins. Okay. I don't even know how to do this fucking minigame. Okay, this ball's gotta move faster. There is a trick to winning this game. I'm just letting you guys know right now that I've never won this game. Oh my god. I should have just said skip the game. Well, I lost. Another round? Of course, I'm not giving up that easily. Whew. Well, I don't think another round actually happened. Whew, I'm pretty tired. That's a draw. It seems neither of us is destined to have our wish fulfilled. God, this is embarrassing. Because I know what's coming. You guys... Although I don't agree with the outcome of that game. He cheerfully bumps the ball high into the air. I had plans. The sun is slightly blinding, but I can still make out the ball's silhouette. Ha! I won't lose. I got this. I jump out of the water and stretch my arms up. Suzuki will be blinded by the magnificence of my leap, fascinated by my dexterity. His eyes will shoot wide in shock. His mouth drops open in awe. This is my chance. Kasea knows. She knows. I'll spike it back at him. He'll definitely miss. And then Suzuki will be the one to fulfill my wish. Oh. I'm but a few inches from the ball when I notice that my chest feels strangely cool. Yes, and somehow unhindered. What? Ah! Oh god. I quickly cover my chest, shielding it from Senpai's eyes, although I'm sure he already got a good look. Of course, I had dreamt about him seeing me naked before, but I never imagined it would happen like this. Ah! Too busy frantically covering myself up, I had completely forgotten that the ball was hurtling towards me. And painfully hits me on the forehead, knocking me into the water with a loud splash. Why? Why did my swimsuit have to fly off of me right now? It was hugging my chest so snugly before. Why? Oh god. Girls, turn your gaze away. Teru! Teru, are you alright? Suzuki lifts me out of the water and draws me close, embracing me tightly. He pats me on the back and help clear my chest. I cough. I'm so sorry. There's no need to apologize. I just need to know that you were okay. Oh, yes. I think. Almost. I'm fine, except for the fact that I'm absolutely humiliated. I wish I could just fall through the earth and disappear. Good. He attempts to set me on my feet and pull away, but... No! I press my chest against him. Shit, my bare breast against his muscular chest. Why am I reading this? No man has ever seen me without clothes before. No man has ever been so close to me like this. I'm going to die of embarrassment. I don't know what else to do, so I continue clinging tightly to Senpai, who, for some reason, does not weaken his hold on me. Even if he's already seen everything, I don't want him seeing me a second time like this. Suzuki, can you close your eyes and look away? I sort of... Why? I already saw everything. He said that so nonchalantly. Why is he acting like this? Where is his chivalry and understanding? How do I respond to him? He drops one of his hands to my waist while bringing the other up to my cheek. It's good luck. What? Well, I wanted to see you in a bathing suit, and now I've seen you with that one as well. Suzuki smiles good-naturedly. How can you say that? I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry you saw them. I didn't want you to. It was an accident. You have nothing to apologize for. So what do we do now? You turn around while I quickly run out of the water and look for a towel or something. He is looking at the camera. And what if I don't want to turn around? You have no choice. If you're a gentleman, you wouldn't leave a girl in trouble. Which is the case right now. Well, you lost, remember? And I have a wish. You're going to use it now? No, I think I'll save it for a little later. I was just curious if you had forgotten about him. Senpai's cryptic statement is making me even more confused than I already am. His ambiguity. It's starting to make me angry. Suzuki, will you just turn away? Nah. He just said nah. Dude, he's like, nah. God, why is he acting like this? This is absolutely mortifying. Granted, I don't dislike the position I'm now in, and I wouldn't mind staying like this a little longer, but... What if Subaru finds out and we end up getting into a fight over it? Doesn't Suzuki think I'm being a little loose here? Suzuki, I'm sorry, but I'm not like the girls you sleep with. I don't want to just flirt with you, rub all over you for no reason at all. This was an accident and nothing more. As for me, I refuse to do anything indecent. There are times that I have all the courage in the world. It's a shame that it happens so rarely, usually only in extreme situations. And if we were more than friends, would you agree? I instantly flush red. This conversation, his words, this entire situation. Enough! Can you stop teasing me already? What if I'm serious? What are you trying to say? If you weren't Subaru's girlfriend right now, would you let me do whatever I wanted with you? He's looking at the camera again. No! I don't know what's gotten into him, but I'm not the type of girl who can just agree to something like that without thinking. So I was wrong then. What? How was he wrong? I don't understand anything anymore. Suzuki is usually kind and sweet, but now he's being so rude and mean. Why are you hell-bent on embarrassing me like this? Why won't you just close your eyes and let me go? Why? I can't help it anymore. I want an explanation right now. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I am not like Milena. I am not one of your fangirls. You have no right to touch me without my permission. How many times have I tried getting closer to Suzuki, and now that I'm in his arms, I'm trying to push him away, but I just want our feelings to be mutual. I want him to accept me and my love before we do anything like that. Of course you aren't like them. That's why I never touched you before. I'm sorry, Teru. I had no intention of upsetting you. I know that you are with Subaru right now, and that you did not intend for this to happen. I promise not to say anything about this to that nerd and the intolerable blonde. Thank you. I exhale. Do I still have my wish? Yes. Then can we stay like this a little longer? Really? Is that your wish? Yes. I think that should be okay. I don't think that's okay, Teru. Then Suzuki plunges us both into the water, leaving only our heads above the surface. If I had known that seeing me naked would make him react this way, I would have found opportunities to do so before today. Oh my god. Sure, it would have been embarrassing and awkward, but so worth it to get this reaction out of him. to seduce the seducer. You know, I thought that chocolate was meant for me. What? Oh, I thought that chocolate was meant for me. It's a shame you confessed to Subaru instead. Before I can respond, Suzuki's lips touch mine, and his tongue eagerly slips into my mouth. I struggle to break free, but he holds my hands firmly in place, not allowing me to interfere with his kiss. Wait, Rislin is just every freaking nameable chicken and MC in a freaking Otome game. That's the name I give all the characters. The strength of his passion surrounds me with a desirous aura. I've never experienced anything like this before. And the sweet scent of caramel that emanates from his body, it clouds my mind. His eyes are so alluring, his lips so wet. I can't think about anything but him right now. Loosening his grip, he lets my hands go and begins to tenderly caress my back, our breaths emerging into one, lips refusing to let go. You know, fuck it, I bet you Subaru's watching. Did my heart stop? A vacuum seems to form around us, and I can no longer hear anything else around me. I don't know how long we've been in the water like this, but I don't feel the cold at all. My body is burning with desire, and it demands more. And it scares me. When he's finally satisfied, he slowly pulls me back, then whispers into my ear. Do not think I did that on just a whim. His voice is languid and calm. Not knowing what to do, I stare at him silently. What do I say? How do I express my feelings? I try to calm my trembling heart and attempt to regain my composure. His kiss. I waited so long for it, but now it unsettles me. I didn't want it to be like this. His kiss. I don't know how I should feel about it. Happiness bubbles up within me, but I'm waiting for the catch. I can't bring myself to fully accept what is happening right now. There has to be more going on here than meets the eye. I hope this remains between us. How can I tell anyone about it? The situation is so embarrassing it verges on absurdity. And then I notice that although Senpai seems calm, his breathing is slightly labored, as is mine. He runs a finger over my lips. They're very soft. What did you just come back in on, Matt Nui? Depravery. Or whatever. I can't think of it. Depravity. Depravity, that's the word. They're very soft. I didn't think your lips would be so sweet. Really? No guy ever says that in real life. Unable to stand it anymore, I avert my gaze. I'm struggling to calm down here, and he continues throwing me curveballs. Suddenly his face changes. Hold on, I'll bring you a towel. That's Senpai in a nutshell. Wait, I think that was supposed to be your thoughts. The moment things start getting serious, he changes the subject and sprints off. Suzuki runs to the beach to fetch a towel and returns with a cloth of some sort, which I happily accept. Remember, Subaru cannot know about this. If he finds out, he'll kill me for touching his woman. As if shushing me, he places his finger over my lips and then gently traces over them. Is he thinking of kissing me again? I have finally tasted Teru's lips. Kaga and Subaru never showed up. We should probably head back to the guest house. I'm sure they're there. Senpai walks along in silence. He refuses to look at me, but continues to firmly yet gently hold my hand. It's fine, because we're pretty much done. Wait, you had this on big screen? Seriously? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Abruptly changing the subject, he begins talking about unrelated things. What just happened? Is he no longer interested in now that he's gotten what he wanted out of me? Does he even care about my love at all? I'm sure if I asked him about it, he'd just give me the same excuse he gives all of his unwanted fangirls. No, stop it. I refuse to tarnish the memory of our kiss. As we walk, so many different thoughts swirl through my mind. What if Kaga and Subaru have their own secrets? What if our quartet is no longer what it seems? What if the bonds of our friendship have already shattered? Okay, alright, I'm gonna stop here. Because then we have the second half of this chapter, and it's gonna take me another half hour to get through it, so that's it for today. We will